Welcome, weary travelers, to another thrilling episode of Arcanarama. I'm Cameron Holt, artist and YouTuber over at youtube.com/fablefire and Dungeon Master here at Arcanarama. I am joined, as always, by the adventurous Arcana crew. Give them a yo-ho-ho, Arcana crew.
Yo-ho-ho!
Before we begin...
Like a pirate.
Huh?
I didn't dress like a pirate.
We talked about how we were doing pirates.
You did.
I'm a new pirate.
New age pirate.
New pirate.
Cyber
Neo
pirate. Before we begin, we've got some announcements to get through, and we're going to get through them in record time. With words from our sponsors, take it away, Taylor.
Hi. Gilded Rogue and More Fun Comics and Games. More Fun Comics and Games gave us this. Gilded Rogue gives you shirt. Thank you, Cameron.
Yeah. You can also pay the Gilded Rogue for their services, and a huge shout out to More Fun Comics and Games for providing our first giveaway of the evening. We'll tell you more about how to enter that in a little bit.
Was there a quality thing? 'Cause I
You
thought that was
said
pretty
that.
bad.
Our sponsors demand quality.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they both called us earlier. They're pissed.
That was me. I was having fun.
Oh.
You can find us across all social media. I'm skipping things. Check out our website, arcanaramashow.com. It's got character bios, player bios, links to our YouTube channel, and links to our merch over at thegildedrogue.com/collections/arcanarama. You can find us across all social media as at Arcanarama Show, except on TikTok, where we're just at Arcanarama. We post lovely clips and updates about things as things become updated. But mostly it's clips and fun little times. This week we did Bilius the Hound when our tavern pup started speaking up. And we did a little bit from when Rabbit had a word not stolen, when Rabbit gave a word to a pixie in the last session, when they asked politely. Don't forget to resubscribe here on Twitch if you're watching with us live. It helps the channel immensely and allows us to continue doing the wonderful giveaways that we do each week. Speaking of giveaways, we have two this evening, just like we always do. The first, this wonderful set of mystery pre-painted minis from WizKids provided to us by our local comic book shop, More Fun Comics and Games. I think it's like at MFC DTX or something like that on Twitter. I don't know. Give them a follow. They're great. I think if you search for More Fun, they show up.
Yeah. It's like an orange circle or something.
Yeah. That's going to be our first giveaway of the evening. You've got to be a follower to be eligible to win the giveaway, and you can't live in Quebec because Quebec has certain laws against giveaways and winning them and those types of things.
Laws against fun.
Yeah.
More fun.
And comics and games.
Yep.
Record time.
So when we go to our break this evening, we'll tell you how to enter to win those wonderful pre-painted mystery minis, and we'll announce the winner when we come back from our break, and then we'll tell you how to enter to win our second giveaway of the evening, which is this beautiful set of Fable Fire dice. The Ignition dice. These dice are so exclusive that they haven't even been sanded or painted yet, and it's fully because they're exclusive and not because I didn't have time to do it this week. Definitely.
Buy a forest of merch.
Vibe check. How are your vibes? Find out by typing !vibe check in the chat right now, and our lovely Arcanarama bot will tell you how you did. We're going to make our rolls.
If you mess up all of your responsibilities, then Cameron will just take away your responsibilities.
Nobody messed up.
I'm not
I
even
got a
allowed to
natural
wipe
one.
anymore.
We're saving throw into the cast for when we have something like real juicy to announce.
Something
Some
juicy.
big news.
Oh yeah, and like we're a couple weeks away from these maybe being different, so like get your friends to follow and shit so we can get different stuff and better stuff, please.
Also,
you're probably tired of these. I'm sure some of you have won multiple and you probably got the same fucking box. But that's
more
not up to
enemies.
us.
I didn't have this written down, but yeah, on November 12th, which is coming up more and more quickly, we have a double whammy of celebration. We are celebrating not only our our independence as a channel here, going independent and kind of creating the show from where we are now in our lovely tavern.
Remember the Alamo.
But at the same time, we're also going to be celebrating
My
Kitty's
birthday.
It's her birthday.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
my birthday, wife.
Get ready to party with birthday wife.
Birthday wife. We're going to have some special giveaways during that stream because it's a big occasion. It's our 1 year of independence and also Kitty's however many years of having been alive.
This
Our-
city.
Arcanapendence.
Arcanapendence Day.
Oh, we're gonna do that. aren't
I've
we?
been trying to. I can't think of anything better. It's the best I got.
Oh no.
How is
Oh,
everybody?
no.
How are the vibes?
I
How's
rolled a
vibes?
1.
Oh,
Nice.
I feel like it's different though because that's just a dice, and my vibes feel pretty good.
I rolled an 18.
Hell yeah.
6.
What did you guys roll in the chat? Scream it. I can't see it.
Scream it.
The vibes are low in the
Ooh,
chat.
Elphaba got a 5. Levendale Kobold got a 3.
Roll with advantage.
We Firm got a 2.
Roll with advantage.
Yeah,
chat.
roll with advantage,
Yeah.
chat. You've earned it.
Actually, you have to roll with advantage. You have to add Robbie's face next to it.
Oh, Roast
If you're
got
a-
1.
If you're here early enough in the stream, you've got some DM inspiration. You can go ahead and roll that with advantage.
Cosmo's got a 7. That's the best so far in the chat.
Oh my god.
We're still ironing out the details of the charity stream that is coming up because we passed 200 follows here on Twitch, which is crazy.
Woo!
Ready for a
did it.
sexy monster?
I'm so.
I'm right
It's me.
here.
And I'm gonna draw other ones.
We're all gonna draw sexy monsters. Since it's our first time doing a charity stream, we want to make sure that we do it properly, so we're really getting everything in order so that we can make it as nice as possible.
Progress bars, transitions, charities.
Censor bars.
Milestones. I think we are gonna. So I think currently we can divulge that the plan is we're gonna kind of go through and do some. Mostly we're gonna do sketches of the monsters, but if we hit certain like dollar milestones of donations, then we will like throw up a straw poll in the chat, and you can vote on which of the sketches that we've done you want us to go back and turn into a fully realized piece of art,
Yeah.
which I think is fun.
Yeah.
It was weird to say it in a room, but there's enthused people all over the country right now.
Yeah.
There's people.
Give us a Robbie in the chat if you just squirmed in your chair or on your couch or in your
I
bed.
didn't, for some reason, the
Or in
word
your car.
squirmed just
Or at
hit
work.
me really bad.
Please don't look down at your phone.
I know
Oh, yeah,
that there are people who do not watch our regular streams who are excited for the Sexy Monsters stream.
Yeah.
And that feels interesting.
That feels good.
Roaststone's 10 right now is the highest on vibe checks.
Nice.
guys.
Just keep rolling throughout the stream. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, do
please?
whatever you need to do.
Is this
Honestly, keep rolling through the stream. That's great for our ratings.
Yeah.
I
We
feel
are
like a
also
weak Mr. T.
no, but with
I
Skull.
like it.
We're also getting very close to beginning production on our new actual play podcast, Frontier. We'll have more information on that very soon as well. So be sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date before the Saturday streams, because that's when we make our announcements. But also all the time.
Oh, we've got Miranda in the chat.
Hey!
She
hello,
rolled a
Miranda.
1 and got eaten by a shambling mound.
Oh no!
The fuck?
Oh no!
So Miranda's in the chat, please.
Who rolled the highest on the table?
You did.
I
You rolled a
did.
natural. No,
I
you
rolled
rolled a
an
1.
18.
It was Kitty. She rolled an 18.
18. Wow.
And then Sam rolled a 6. Oh, I didn't roll.
Roll.
What are you doing?
12. Pretty middle of the road. Very slightly above average. All right.
Forest of...
Right.
With all of that said, it's time to meet with a king and potentially split our paths in tonight's episode of Arcanarama. Previously on Arcanarama. After coming to terms with the fact that Aurora wasn't coming back, and with little hope of a successful search and rescue within Altanen, the Mistwalkers decided to press on to Mossendale for a meeting with Lord Thaddeus Racus, in hopes that a united front could liberate the city and their missing friend. Along the way, our intrepid heroes discovered an ancient bog body, as well as a small trio of pixies who stole the word blue and all of its associations from rabbit. Cholula received a message from Valdwin stating that he would be more than willing to meet the party in Geladorn to receive Nori and escort her back to Wiltbloom. Sylas and Cholula had a heart-to-heart, confirming that each of them had a desire to return to Waterdeep. After purchasing some questionable goods from a pushy silk salesman in the night market of Mossendale, and lightly breaking the news to Nori that she had been encased in ice for 62 years, the party found their rest at the Dry Bean pub. The next morning, our heroes headed to the estate of Lord Thaddeus Rackus. There, they discussed the formation of the United Federation of Misternor, a treatise between several of the holds of Misternor to support one another with military power in times of dire need. The party was hired to negotiate the treaties and get them signed by the leaders of Geladorn, Dorfalos, and Norumloth. They were given the seal of House Rackus in order to initiate these meetings. Before leaving Lord Rackus's estate, the party learned of an ancient Vasikirian legend surrounding the Thrace, an ancient pantheon of gods that are no longer worshipped in Misternor. This information correlated with an old copper holy symbol they had found on the body in the bog. From here, the party set out for Geladorn. Along the way, as autumn began to fall over Misternor, the Mistwalkers met Vosriel, a young copper dragon. Fascinated with mortal customs like bartering and trade, Vosriel offered information in exchange for items. Ultimately, Vosriel was convinced of further discussions in the Red Pines with Rabbit about potentially taking the place of Randris, Rabbit's deceased draconic mother, and guardian of the Red Pines. As the Mistwalkers arrived at the beautiful mesh of elven and dwarven designs that is Geladorn, they headed to the unsavory pudding and pills and enjoyed cinnamon pastries as they caught up with Valdwin. It was settled that once the party has met with King Othorion Hervolu Geladorn, they would meet with Valdwin so that he can teleport Sylas and Cholula back to the continent of Windfell. What changes have taken place in Windfell during the Mistwalkers' absence? Will Sylas be tempted to draw another card from the deck of many things? Is Rabbit truly going to stay behind in Misternor? Will King Othorion Hervolu Geladorn be open to the treaties? Find out in the next episode of Arcanarama. We pick up right where we left off. As you exit the unsavory pudding and pills, leaving Nori and Valdwin behind, you find yourselves once again in the bustling streets of Geladorn. Elves and dwarves go about their daily business as you begin making your way towards the tall tower suspended atop a bridge over the layered streets of the magnificent city. I'm assuming you guys are headed towards
The king.
that spire, unless there's anything else you'd like to do.
I think we just had to do that, right?
Yeah, I think it was that.
Perfect.
I don't know this city.
I wanted to say rad and perfect, and instead I just made the worst sound.
You were saying worth it. Ooh, a whole campaign in Simlish.
No, thank you. Various street merchants and food stalls call out to passersby to sell their wares. There's a poof of glittery sparks from one stall, revealing a young half-elven man with a wide-brimmed black hat and a curled mustache. He's wearing a lavish cape of red and blue velvet, or red and gray in Rabbit's case.
Red.
Point of order, did you guys park the cart?
I was so caught up in the description of the city, I forgot where I put my cart.
I don't remember doing anything specific to the cart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll say you found some staples and tied it up. And
Thank you
just
for
been kind
being
of-
forgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably near the unsavory puddings and pastries if we're going to be heading back there.
Perfect. Wonderful. The merchant calls out to you. Step right up, gentle people of Geladorn. The great Darren Bruno shall pull back the veil on the secrets of your future. For the low, low price of 1 silver piece, the secrets of the universe can be yours to mold and change. You there! Can I interest you in a reading from the all-knowing cards? And as he says this, he kind of like flicks cards from one hand to another before bringing them together in his hands.
We're not people of Geladorn, so sorry. We're not from here.
You are people within Geladorn, yes? You are here within the city streets. Leave a little.
Is there like a crowd around this person?
Not really, no. Most people are kind of ignoring him.
Does he seem Does this seem like normal shady or shady?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, does he have any Harperness about him?
Oh, you can make a perception check or investigation.
I'll invest.
It's just a measly silver piece, and I will tell you your future.
16 insight.
16?
17 investigation.
Nice.
25 insight.
Wow. Investigation first. You don't notice any hidden pins around the lapel or the sleeves or anything of that nature. Just a deck of cards that he has in his hands. Looks to be some sort of tarot deck of some kind. The two of you, with your insight checks, if this is a scam, which, I mean, you know, it depends on you guys and what your characters believe is and isn't possible within the world of magic and mysticism that is Mistinor, whether or not someone could read your future. But if it is a scam, charging 1 silver piece is not a great way to make a lot of money doing it.
All right, friend. And I just like kind of hand out a silver piece.
You're really going to do this? Simply have a meeting of sorts.
Have a seat here.
There's no time for that. There's no schedule.
I will shuffle the cards. I will ask you to cut the deck, and then I will draw 3 from the top.
I'm so far
Tell
away.
you your future.
Do I recognize this deck?
3?
Cut the deck. Wonderful, wonderful. He sets out 3 cards and places the deck actually within his coat pocket. I don't have one.
We should make you a pocket.
I'll get you one.
Just a pocket?
I don't think our audience at home will be able to see this, but I will do this out here so that you guys can see.
I want to see.
We can describe vibrantly what the cards look like.
The card has landed on a table.
It is face down.
The card has landed on a table.
The cards are face down. Oh, hey, the camera's up.
Oh, neat. Are the cards within the frame? There's a cat.
I've been told to keep her away from our mic by you and Robbie.
Yeah.
And now
And now here she
it's good.
is.
It's maybe one of the cards is cat. Yeah, okay, we're good. Just gotta cut her tail.
What of these straight strays? Always getting into it.
If you can, could you just push them forward a little bit?
Of course, of
Perfect.
course.
I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. I can't see very far.
Of course.
Really?
Are you ready to see what the fates have in store for you,
Oh, sure.
Miss?
Rabbits.
A beautiful name.
And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, shouldn't he have known that?
Balance. I see that recent discoveries have led to a balancing of emotions. Things that were out of place now seem more aligned. Is there something that still weighs on your memory? The void.
Trying to steal your pizza.
There are many things that the void could represent. And as is the case with most tarot readings, a lot of this is up to interpretation, of course. Perhaps it is a void within you, something you feel needs being filled. Perhaps that thing that weighs on your mind leaves you feeling empty inside currently. And your future. A rogue agent, off on their own, a new adventure into the unknown.
You did a rhyme.
Oh,
Very good.
I do prefer when my
Thank
future
you. I'm a
readings are.
professional fortune teller. Could I interest any of your companions, perhaps, in a reading of their futures? I also do groups for the low, low price of 2 silver pieces.
That's just.
That's just
That's
the
just-
amount of people that is still left to be read.
Well, I could read for all 3 of you for 2 silver.
How about a gold piece and you pull from my deck?
A gold piece and I draw a card from a deck that you
Yeah,
have.
no, I've got a box here somewhere. Yeah, right here.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
I'm going to say outright, the DC on this is 16.
Sylas.
It's a 10.
Hmm.
2 gold pieces could do it too.
Make it 3.
3. I'm going to give him 3 gold pieces.
Sylas.
3 is fine.
Wonderful. Gonna make a quick insight check. You already rolled persuasion. I'm going to need either deception or persuasion from both Rabbit and Cholula, depending on how each of you are reacting in the situation. I think as you see the seemingly bland leather case that I assume Sylas is pulling out, how
So
would
is
each of you
this-
respond in this instance?
Is deception like, yeah, do it?
If you're trying to be like aloof and chill about it, deception.
Okay.
If you are trying to convince him that he shouldn't draw a card with your eyes or with your words, persuasion.
Okay. I'm aloof and chill.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, now we don't know what these do. Just a fair warning.
Yeah, well, you could say the same thing about my deck, you know.
13.
You don't know until the cards are drawn.
22. Persuasion. Right?
Nice.
Yeah, you're the face, for sure.
I'm gonna hand these over to you if you'd like to give them a shuffle, and then I will draw.
So, you've been out on the streets long?
I mean, I do not live on the streets, but I perform here in my stall, yes, on the daily.
Would you like to cut them?
Of course.
He just drew like 20.
He explodes in a mode of light now.
Good. Make a pick.
Just one card.
For now?
I see what you are doing here. I will take this one.
Here's these.
I'll hold on to him for now.
It would be very funny if the answer was he explodes and you had to like,
Oh.
oh!
Interesting, actually. Can you either just hold it up. Give me the 2 cards on the top.
What'd you get?
As he holds the card in his hand. Oh. Strangely invigorating feeling, I feel. Good. And you see as he holds the card to the side and shows you the gesture, he's still holding cards in his hand.
Oh, there's more. I thought you'd only drawn one.
But I did. He looks into his hand. What the fuck? Okay. As he does, there's a flash of light as he moves the card to his other hand and turns it just in time for you to see the key before the card kind of burns from one corner and alights in his hand, and just a small dagger with a bit of a curve to it
Curved.
takes its place.
Swords.
This is
Free sword.
quite a gift you have given me. It is a dagger, but yes.
Well, that's just a smaller sword, though, isn't it?
Small. So it could be a sword for a small person.
It is currently sheathed. We'll kind of look over it and place it down.
Oh, there's a
Tie it onto his belt.
third card there. You did draw one.
There is one more. This one must be a dud. Balance. I feel the same. I'm sorry about your cards that has disappeared, but you may have these two back. As he goes to hand them back to you, you see as they're kind of like pulled from his hand back into the deck. It's less that he places them and more that they return themselves.
Right.
This card, however, is expended. It is a lovely deck of cards you have there. So, what will it be? Another reading of the future? You have given me a great gift. I will give you one on the house.
The house, it's 3 gold, wasn't it? I think I'm fine. I'd say this whole time Sylas is just fixated on the cards and exchanging them.
And what about you, ma'am? You have any curiosity as to what the future might hold for you?
I suppose. Why not while we're here?
Well, we shall call your gentleman companion's contribution payment enough.
Are you sure?
I mean, I could probably pay for the rest of the street if it's a silver piece for each.
If I'm being honest, it is more than I have made in the last 2 days, so thank you very kindly.
You should charge more. Maybe go a bit more mysterious too, not like a barker, right?
Like this? There's another poof of like sparks and glitter.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
It grabs
Oh,
attention.
thank you. He takes his hat and kind of
You
does
need
a
to be
little bow.
intriguing more than loud.
Please, cut it in. Wherever
This
you
is
see
how
fit.
Cameron gets us to show off our outfits.
I have pants on.
Do a spin.
Do a speed. For your fortune, do a speed. Probably go forward.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Actually, I should turn these the other way so the audience might see them.
Is it still just us 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually,
He's doing the card stuff over here. If anyone,
a reading of fortunes.
a reading of fortunes. Fortunes.
Let us carry on, Joe. First, a card of the past. Balance again. It would seem that a recent decision, perhaps similar to the one that your friend Rabbit has made. And what was your name, mademoiselle?
Cholula.
Cholula. A lovely name.
Well, spicy.
It would seem that you have recently felt yourself come to a conclusion or a decision that has put your mind at ease, seemingly balancing the world around you. In the present, talents. There's something I think that you would like to sink your claws into, perhaps. Or maybe just to get a grip on, not let it slip away. And as for your future, Vizier, I think you shall have a fortuitous meeting with someone that has sight beyond that us normal mortals find ourselves with. Perhaps? Well, thank you so much for visiting the shop, and thank you for the wonderful gifts.
Yes.
It's
It
been
is not often that I get to draw cards for myself within the tent.
I figured you'd enjoy that.
well, it's been very interesting.
Yes, of course. I will not keep you any longer. You are clearly very busy. Many things to attend to, futures to plan.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Of course. And if you should come across anyone who seems down in the dumps or uncertain about their future, I ask that you send them to me.
What was your name, friend?
The great Darren Bruno.
Pleasure.
Right. Well, good day.
Enjoy your. With another poof, he is just like kind of turned around, just kind of going through his things. Pulls out the dagger and is kind of inspecting it as you continue along your way.
What was that about?
I just wanted him to draw a card. So I had him draw a card.
Silas, can I say you seem like you've been a little bit obsessed with that deck of cards lately?
Obsessed is probably strong.
I mean, you just sort of make remarks about it pretty consistently.
Likely, yeah.
Well, but nothing bad happened.
No, not.
He got a free knife.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yes, but it came from where and what's its purpose? What is he gonna do with it?
I'm obsessed with the deck, and now you're wondering so much about this.
You're right, it's me.
the deck.
I mean, what if he might just defend himself with it? You know, he didn't look very imposing.
Right. All right.
Could have been something.
I'll drop it.
Maybe it's like a lucky knife. Maybe
Maybe
it does
it
something really fun.
I mean, I will
Maybe
say
it's
so
a
far,
healing knife.
based off of all of the cards that you guys have drawn from the deck, it seems like a wondrous, just deck of immense possibilities.
I don't trust it.
All right, onward to the king.
Right.
I'm gonna gather all my materials real fast that we were handed from the other guy, because we have treaties and
Oh, that was a town back. I'd imagine you have those. Oh, you mean you're
the
gathering
ones
them
that we
out.
have to. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Seal and the
Yeah,
tree.
I'm just getting all of that together, so you know how like before an interview you're like, okay, I've got a
Paperclip.
printout of my resume,
Mm-hmm.
I've got a nice shirt on, I'm doing that.
They have
Perfect.
They'll have pens, right, of some sort. Like,
But I don't, so
yeah, I don't for sure. They'll have pens. I mean, look,
they'll have. Right,
it's the one on the bridge.
somebody in that big giant building has
Has
a pen,
a
right?
quill of.
Or you know, we could just prick our fingers and thumbprint.
They're elves. They probably have pens. They probably have
Right, they're probably fancy self-writing pens.
the first
or
feather
stamp
of all time. All right, yeah.
or seal, something. They'll have it covered.
Dwarves
we
are
don't have to.
stampers, I think.
Who brings their own pen to something like this? No one.
No, a treaty
right?
of this sort, it's kind of important what the pen is, right? You hand the pen to someone else.
Should I have brought a pen?
I have a pen,
think-
but I
I think
imagine
it's-
that they'll have them. Yeah.
Could I
Send
does it-
paper birds.
Could
Will
I
you?
just borrow it so it looks official? I don't want to.
I suppose.
I don't
but
want to be there with my pants down. You know.
Don't let them keep it.
I won't let him keep. I'll say, here's all of this. I will need the
That's what
pen
everyone
back.
says who ends up stealing a pen on accident,
True.
right?
Right, I've never stolen by
just
accident.
write-
Always intentionally, though.
You write pen on your hand, so you know you have a pen.
I write pen on my hand.
What color is the ink, by chance?
It's black.
Black.
Oh, it is black. I was just making sure.
It's. it's.
The pen is blue.
It's gray. How'd you do that?
Continuing along the ringed street leading to this vast bridge that will take you towards the central tower-like castle. You all hear a growing cacophony of gasps, yells, and whispers coming from ahead of you. Just as you're taking in the situation, a cloaked rider atop a horse comes barreling through the crowd right at you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
This is a little intense.
Do I have ADV on these or not?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Cholula, you have advantage because you're alert, and Sylas, you have advantage because you have danger sense as a barbarian.
18.
21.
Nice. 21, 18.
18.
Very spry.
Hell yeah, not bad. You all dive out of the way as this cloaked and hooded figure rushes past you on a riding horse. You like literally have to kind of like dive out of the way as they rush past. As they do, they fling a hail of these kind of like iridescent like purplish green darts that appear at the tips of their fingers, and they shoot them over their shoulder like little darts that fly through the air towards what you now see are three elven and one dwarven guard, giving chase with spears and shields at the ready. The guards are wearing blue and white tabards emblazoned on the chest with a silver full moon eclipsed by a golden crescent moon, which is you recognize to be the uniform of the guards with all of the kind of like intricate, sharp lines. There's something stuck to my shirt that was pulling on my neck. They have these intricate designs that go from these stark, hard lines and angles to more organic, flowing design on the other side, almost vine-like.
Any symbols on the rider who's throwing darts?
No, just a black cloak, but you can make a perception check if you would like.
Yeah.
It's a natural 20.
It's a natural
20.
So 20,
Love that number.
27 total.
27 total.
Love 20.
24.
It's like so much better than 19.
Nice.
How far away could I? Better question. Is there a shadow in front of this rider that I could transport to within 60 feet?
I will say the rider is just at about 60 feet past you at this point. By the time you guys are like getting back up to your feet and taking in the situation, maybe 20 feet away from you and rushing in your direction quickly are the guards, who you see some of them just take those missiles that just kind of like swoop around their shields and collide with them. But the dwarf is barreling forward and calling out, "Stop that horse!" What would you all like to do? Oh, on your natural 20, by the way.
Right.
Rabbit, you notice just as you're rolling out of the way, just kind of hanging off of a pouch to the side, still loosely open, is a drawstring pouch, and inside you can see the glint and shimmer of what appear to be diamonds.
Can I?
I have those.
I'm gonna step of the wind. So my movement is 120.
Okay,
And I'm
firstly, I need all of
yeah.
you to roll initiative.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
As we go into a chase. We haven't done a chase in a while.
Oh yay.
17.
22.
Nice.
17.
Hell
Plus
yeah.
4.
Plus 5.
Okay.
All that barbarian I have in me.
Barbarian. Barbara Ian.
I love the Beach Boys.
And the guards. Wonderful. Cholula, you're up first.
Okay. So I have this spear that's like a harpoon from whenever we took the boat ride.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try to toss that in a way that it might trip the horse?
Yeah. Make.
I don't want to hurt the horse because it's not the horse's fault.
If you trip that horse, it's dead.
I want to steal.
Have you met a horse?
Make.
I want to steal.
Make an attack roll.
Okay. With the spear?
Yes.
14.
14. 14 hits.
Oh!
Since you specified non-lethal damage, we'll say that you kind of cut out to the side to get a bit of an angle on the horse's legs because it is running kind of straight away from you, so you get kind of adjacent and huck the spear. And as you do, without piercing the legs, it does tangle within them. I'm going to make a dexterity saving throw for the riding horse. I'm going to call this I'll call it a DC 12.
Okay.
Not crazy, not impossible. Horse gets no pluses to this roll.
What? That's all a horse is.
And that die is gone. Hey, on a natural 19, the horse manages to keep its composure and not fumble. It just kind of clobbers the spear and the harpoon bends under its feet.
Damn. Okay. Then I'm going to...
That was your action to... Well, yeah, that was your action to toss the spear.
Yeah.
So you have movement. Because, just a refresher for all of us, within a chase, there are no bonus actions. It's just action and movement.
Okay, then yeah, I'm just going to start running.
Hell yeah. What is your movement speed again?
That's what I was trying to get at. I can't remember if I have to shift to have more movement or if I always have more.
I think shifting adds to your movement speed. But I think you also have some
Yeah.
benefits.
But shifting is a bonus action. So let's say 30.
Okay. Hell yeah. That is Cholula. That's going to bring us to Rabbit.
Yeah, so we don't have bonus actions, but could I use an action to do a bonus action?
Sure.
Okay, can I use my action to Step of the Wind? With my wingies.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was thinking you could use your action to dash, but I forget that your Step of the Wind specifically gives you wings.
Yes. So that puts my movement at 120 feet.
Okay.
Can I land on the horse?
Absolutely.
Who the fuck are my key points ever? They're there. I got lost.
I don't think I'm even going to require a roll because you're way faster than this horse. And
Flying.
and you're coming from behind it, so it's not. No one's really anticipating that.
No.
So yeah, you land on the back of the horse.
Great. That's all the things that I can do.
Yeah. What is your like base movement speed for 160?
For 160.
You can catch up with just your movement speed. So
Let me give my key point back.
yeah, I'll say that as part of your movement, you could use the key point to do Step of the Wind. So you still have an action to use if you like.
Can I grapple this guy?
Yeah, you can grapple this lady.
I find that out when I touch her boobies.
Oh no, we'll see.
Can I grapple this guy?
Because I'm behind, so I would.
Just to stay
I only go forward.
just to stay consistent, since we have kind of implemented those new 1D&D grappling mechanics. Go ahead and make an unarmed strike.
Right. Okay. 19?
Yeah, 19 absolutely hits. You
Nice.
grapple the woman, probably graze a boob in the struggle because she is.
I
struggling.
apologize for that.
Yeah, she is struggling against you. The hood falls, and you see an elven woman with kind of dark black hair that is kind of pulled up into a bun, and she's got a scar just under her left eye, and she seems frustrated with you.
Is she beautiful?
She's an elf, so yes.
Just checking in.
100%, yeah. That's Rabbit's turn?
I'm a little wooed, but yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Hell yeah, that's going to bring us to Sylas. You see a burst of golden wings as Rabbit radiantly flies through the air and then lands on the horse and kind of puts the rider in a full Nelson, which seems very dangerous.
Could I sprint up and kind of run alongside the horses in chase? Right?
Oh, like the guard's horse?
They're actually behind you, and the guards are not on horses; they're on foot.
Oh.
Fools.
Okay, I'm going to, if I could just ask.
Yeah, they're only like 20 feet away from you.
Yeah.
They can hear you.
Hey, Mr. Walker here. There's a situation. I'll just like thumb over to like you grazing a boob and like, Miss Walker, part of them. What seems to be the issue?
Jewel thief!
All right, and then I'll just like, bolt. In the
Yeah,
other
what's your movement
direction,
speed?
If I could, it's 45,
All right.
and then I'll action to dash
Hell yeah.
and get like
Yeah, you
out
catch
front
up.
if I can.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can easily whip around with your movement speed and get out front of the horse.
Cool. It's just movement and action, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
All right. Ending Silas's turn brings us to
Can't prepare anything, can I?
no, because technically you've used everything.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the rider and their horse. They are going to continue forward at their full movement speed, which is 60 feet on a riding horse. However, Rabbit is in tow.
I'm part of it.
You know more about horses than I do. If a horse is meant to go fast,
Yeah,
and there's a small person on its back,
right.
if another small person were to hop onto that horse, would that fuck it up considerably?
No,
Okay.
not especially.
Okay.
Not At first.
Because my reasoning here is like typically if something is pulling another creature, then it moves at half speed. But
Yeah.
horses are different. But adding a second creature on top of the one that it's meant to carry, I was trying to decide if that would give it half speed. I don't think so. I feel like that's dumb.
No, I would say if it kept going, yeah, like eventually, yeah. But for a few seconds, no.
Depends on what Rabbit's doing too, I guess. Like if you're like hooking it.
Oh yeah, I've just got like I'm just pushing in with my knees. Go. No, I'm trying to do all the things that don't make horse go.
So it loops out around you, Sylas, with Rabbit still struggling with the rider. The rider is going to attempt to escape the grapple with their action. So now we'll go back to old rules of they're going to make an acrobatics check, and you can make an athletics check or acrobatics check if you
Great.
like. Actually, no, I think you have to make
I
athletics.
have to make athletics.
Yes, that is correct. And acrobatics. 21.
Natural 20.
Oh, shit.
So 26 total.
Yeah, so they do not escape your grapple. You still have them.
I just do like an arm bar as soon as they start moving, just like,
Yeah,
sorry.
they're like one arm out. And you can see as, well, I don't know if you would recognize, as one arm is kind of like stuck out from the way that you've positioned them, their fingers begin kind of like twitching and moving in strange patterns. That is going to end the rider's turn and bring us to the guards, who are going to use their full movement and action to dash to get about halfway between Cholula and Sylas. That's going to bring us back to the top of the round, Cholula.
Cholula.
Okay. I'm gonna go another 30 feet.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna-
about 10 feet back from Sylas.
I'm gonna pull out my bow. And I'm gonna shout to the guards, do I have permission to shoot? Because I don't know the rules here.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
The Dwarven guard, who you see has a little trickle of blood from his silver-winged helm from the magic missile that hit him in the face, looks up at you with one eye kind of swollen, starting to swell shut. He says, "Any means necessary."
All right. And then I'm going to...
Not roll a natural one.
I don't know if I want to shoot the horse or the rider. I guess the rider's being grappled and I don't want to hit
Yeah.
Rabbit. So I'm going to shoot...
I will say the rider currently has 3/4 cover because Rabbit is behind them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm going to shoot... I'm going to fire at the horse with the flame tongue bow.
Fuck yeah, go for it.
You
Ooh,
promise.
is this the first time you've used the flame tongue?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
Yeah, that hits for sure.
Okay.
The horse catches fire.
Oh yeah, you're aiming for the horse. That definitely hits.
We made this custom dealio, right?
Yeah, it's essentially like what a flame tongue
Sword.
would be.
Okay, so is
but
it a
for
D8
bow.
fire damage?
You got a 2d6 fire damage.
Okay, plus a D6, so 3d6.
I don't think that horse is gonna be okay.
Is it a short bow or a long bow?
Good question. I don't remember what I did when we made this
Short bow.
short bow.
Okay, yeah.
Says
3d6.
proficiency with a short bow allows.
Oh yeah,
you-
because I had a short bow and he made it a thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So-
the bow string technically is what gives it the enchantment.
18.
18 points of damage. The horse. Describe for me how you killed this horse.
Tell me about that horse, you know.
Oh man, one day we should do.
Reluctantly, that's how.
We should do at the starting line. One day we should do a one shot where you all play as horses, and that'll be our Grimdark campaign. Because like
Yeah.
being a horse in D&D is rough stuff.
Yeah.
They're so killable.
Yeah, it's like being a dog in a sci-fi movie.
But you know, it's realistic because a horse dies over anything.
It's true.
Really
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So I guess she asked permission, and when the
Kills
dwarf
a
is like, "Do it," I'm like, "All right," and just like, kind of like not looking and just straight to like immediate death, no suffering, just take the horse down.
Like,
Yeah. As you draw the bowstring back, because I think this is the first time you've used this, as you draw it back, it begins to kind of glow with this orangish yellow vibrance to the string, which then follows the intricate carvings of runes that Theron Kettle made along the bow itself, and just a small kind of like flaming loop opens just at like the tip of the arrow, and as you fire and it passes through the loop, the entire arrow becomes engulfed in flames, and as it flies through the air and you kind of look away, you don't see what happens, but you hear a sound, and you know what you've done. I need Rabbit to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
As well as the rider. The rider is going to have... Actually, both of you make this with disadvantage because you are grappling
Sorry.
with one another.
Oh, it should be okay.
I was going to ask if, like, on my turn, I was going to catch, like, run ahead and try to catch them.
21.
21. Rabbit. Well, I'll ask you, do you want to keep your grapple on...
Fuck yeah, I do.
Hell yeah. So as the horse... the arrow kind of screams from overhead and just kind of comes down at an angle from the angle that you had to use from the distance you were, Cholula. You kind of like angled up and hit it at an arc, and it comes down straight in the back of the horse's head, which then just goes headfirst into the ground, tumbling. As it does, you kind of like pull the rider forward and use them as a buffer against the ground.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. I would buffer.
Okay, so you're going to willingly fail your dex save.
Yeah, but as long as I get to keep arms on this person,
Okay.
I will buffer.
Keeping them grappled, but taking the damage of the
I'm not cruel.
You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall. Like, falling on a regular ground sucks.
Yeah.
Falling on a cobbled street
Awful.
absolutely
Dead horse.
blows. Yeah. So you roll and are just kind of battered by the cobbled stones. A couple of them actually come loose and scatter out. But eventually you come to a stop, and as you do, roll over and kind of put your full weight onto the rider and pin them to the ground.
I don't, but I love the concept.
Finish him.
She was into it.
Is there some tension here?
Definitely. Is it sexual? Who knows?
Now it is.
With that, we'll go ahead and drop the chase because they've been stopped. Excuse me. As the rest of you catch up, guards as well. You see that the elven guards are kind of like sweating and huffing. The dwarf is also huffing, but like very much more composed as they run up, pulling manacles from their side and clapping one onto the hand, kind of nodding at you, taking the other.
I'd like to run up and just like do a little sorry horse pat.
Yeah, for sure. Cholula does like a little kneel down, thinks about all of the delicious recipes that she could make with this new hunk of
I
meat.
wonder if they're gonna use this.
You could ask. Are you going to use the horse? Do you need it for anything?
No, she came on the horse, so it doesn't belong to anyone now, as all of her belongings will be taken. As he says this, he takes the satchel. This belongs to Langley, miss. I think you knew that. Thank you, strangers.
Miss Walkers.
Miss Walkers.
Happy to help.
Lovely to meet you. I'm Barley Butterfound. Captain Barley Butterfound. This is my squad. You've done us a great service this day.
So, who did you say she stole these from?
Langley, down at Langley's Lustrous Trinkets.
Oh.
It's in the 7th ring. Thank you for your service. I'm afraid I can't help you much in the way of payment or anything like that, but perhaps we could talk with the higher-ups about getting a medal, having maybe a brief service for you.
Oh, that wouldn't be necessary. We're just on our way to have a meeting.
We're just passing through.
Hopefully with King Geladon.
Well, show him the seal, right?
King Geladon.
I
Yes.
pull out the seal of...
We could use an escort. Even
Moss
sweaty
and Bell.
ones and plate armor.
Of course. Absolutely. He turns and hands this bag that is just brimming with diamonds. Hands it over to one of the other guards, who takes it, and the three of them, he kind of like gives them their orders to return it to from whom it was stolen, and they give a little salute and then head off on their way.
That was Langley's lustrous what?
Trinkets.
Trinket.
What are those trinkets? Lustrous.
It's diamonds.
Voluptuous.
Aye, well, with the royal seal and a meeting with the king, I'd be honoured to escort you.
Oh, we'd
Thank
be
you very
quite
much.
grateful for it.
Right, well, follow me.
You guys do need conditioning or anything as we fade out of this.
Continuing on, looking out from atop what you now can see is labeled as the Athorion Bridge, you can truly take in the full beauty of the city of Galadorn. There's a low autumn mist that's kind of lingering through the rays of the setting sun over the spiraling city streets beneath you. Bluish-white arcane lights begin to glow along the subterranean streets that spoke out from the spiraling streets, kind of leading into the earth and disappearing out of sight. Finally, you arrive at the towering majesty of the Prime Spire. It twists and cuts a sharp angle into the sky. As you are led forward, Barley splits off.
That's mine.
As you're led forward, Barley splits off to speak with the 6 guards that are standing vigil outside the elaborate main gate of the Prime Spire. They have a brief interaction before one steps towards a strange curved funnel jutting out from the wall to his left. He stands there for a moment before turning and nodding to Barley, who returns to all of you. Before he can say anything, you watch as the gates begin to crack open with hardly a sound. As thanks for your aid to the city guard in apprehending the jewel thief, King Galadorn will take his audience with you immediately. Follow me, Mistwalkers, and please be on your best behavior.
Always.
I put my hands clasped in front of me to avoid any touching.
I just did that.
You are escorted through a glorious matte white stone corridor, decorated with intricate paintings and tapestries depicting dragons and warriors and stuffy-looking nobles. Eventually, you come to a large open throne room with high ceilings supported by gold and white pillars.
It's still a mix of dwarven and elven.
Interesting.
Nobles are seated in a curve at the far end of the magnificent room. Guards armed with longbows, halberds, and shields are placed strategically throughout the room, and they stand at ease, but you can feel their eyes on you as you walk forward, especially you, Cholula. You can actually even make out a couple that are hidden away in the rafters that wear specific armor to blend them in with the white marble of the room. At the head of the room, seated atop a throne constructed from matte white cylinders carved and sanded smooth, is a beautiful androgynous figure. A square jaw and sunken cheeks frame a thin, angular nose, slight lips, and piercing violet blue eyes. Straight platinum hair disappears behind broad shoulders, aside from 2 long ribbons of hair that stretch down from the sideburns and well past the waist. The figure wears a simple white silken robe with gold ear cuffs and a golden mantle across the collarbones, in the shape of feathered wings that are connected by the familiar symbol of the full moon eclipsed by a crescent moon. Thin gold chains dangle down and back from a blue gin in the center of the forehead. An impossibly elegant, impossibly large scythe leans against the side of the throne as the figure stands and gracefully descends 2 of the 12 steps leading up to them. Ah, you must be the Mistwalkers.
We should we?
Yeah,
Is Barley with us still?
Yes.
Does he bow?
Yeah, Barley gets down on one knee and kind of bows his head.
I'm gonna do what he
I
does.
follow
is there any
suit.
kind of greeting I would know from living with elves and being married to elf?
Make a history check.
Okay. Silas hates this, but
I, Samantha, love this.
no, it's a decent roll. There's all kinds of cocked. 8.
8.
Oh no.
I mean, last resort, I'm going to kneel, but I was like,
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
scanning his thoughts, like, oh wait, do elves do a thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 8 is high enough that I was really hoping you were gonna roll lower than a 5. 8 is high enough that you don't say anything wrong or to embarrass yourself, but there is kind of like a brief moment where like everyone around you is kneeling, and then you're kind of like thinking, and then are like, oh shit, and then like follow suit. As the name Mistwalker still rings throughout the king's chamber, whispers begin to fill the room at the mention of nobles speaking into one another's ears. And there's this massive audience of people that are just kind of around. It seems like the king probably takes daily court on certain days at certain hours, and lots of nobles of the city come to watch and weigh in. Please rise. What brings you to our humble city?
Well, Cholula had some specifics.
We've come here partially on behalf of fucking what's his name?
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus Rockus.
Lord Thaddeus Rockus of
Yeah.
Mossendale.
And partially on behalf of the things that we have seen in Mistinor. We've brought a treaty that has been revised.
Hand forward the pen and the treaty.
So he's still standing. So you guys are like at the bottom of these glorious 12 steps that lead up to his throne. He's like a couple of steps down. There are 2 very tall, very broad guards. Definitely not elven, but in full plate armor, so you can't really make out any features on either side of him. One of them steps down and takes the treaty from you.
I need the pen back, though.
The awkward kind of quiet clanking of armor as he turns and begins walking up the steps. As he does, he's kind of like looking over the paper, seemingly inspecting it for any sort of assassination attempt of curses
I also
or anything
handed
of that nature.
the sigil, the
Seal?
the seal,
The seal
over
of
with
House
it,
Rockus.
just as proof.
Perfect. As you do so, it is brought up. The king takes it and begins looking through the scroll, very elegantly kind of reading through it and re-scrolling the top as he's unfurling the bottom and keeping it at a consistent size.
Obviously, your great city here as well.
One moment, please. I'm still reading. There's a good
It's longer than
3.5 minutes that pass as the room is just silent as he reads through the treaty.
I imagine we're all just like,
I'm told that you also bring stories of experiences.
Yes. We witnessed that the city of Altanan has been entirely overtaken by Silver Stake.
We aided in the, I'm sorry, I'm Sylas.
Sylas.
Yeah, we aided in,
And the name of your house?
Bramble?
Sylas of House Bramble. And you? Cholula.
Cholula Duvet.
Cholula Duvet. A glorious name. And you are
I'm Rabbit, the first of Randris.
Rabbit of Randres.
Yeah, you got there.
Strong name.
Yeah, and then we also
Thank
helped a bunch of people exit the city, and they're probably, essentially refugees now, and that's kind of an issue.
Ah, you've brought refugees with you to
No,
Gallifrey.
No, they've spread out across the map.
Mostly waterfolk.
I see.
We know that the city of Galadorn is well fortified. It's a magnificent city, and you likely don't need the aid. However, your comrades across the continent could very much use your experience and your armies
What would
before
bring-
the stake is allowed to spread.
I see. Yes.
Well, as we are introducing ourselves, I am King Othorion Hervalor Galadorn, third of his name. I find that the treaty's requirement of a percentage of current standing armies to be standing by is unfair, as Galadorn has the largest standing army in all of Misternor. My forces are then, in my eyes, an unbalanced majority of the standing forces of the UCM, which I think should give me more say than, say, Bluegrave, a city with the smallest standing army in the continent, and therefore the smallest contribution to the protection of Misternor.
I'm sorry, more say in what?
Well, what armies are allocated where? By the way of the treaty, these armies shall be forfeited and from the cities themselves and then split amongst all of the holds of Misternor. Families will have to move themselves from hold to hold in order to take up their posts in protection of those cities. I will say this is a step up from the last treaty that we received, which was simply that you must answer a call of aid when it arrives, which feels weak at best, for if there is such an insurgence as there was recently, where the Silver Stake had been attacking multiple cities at once. Why is this song in this playlist?
He starts to kill us. If I may, Your Highness,
Kill that bard! No.
I
Quietly.
acknowledge that right now it seems unfair that more of your army will have to go than others, such as Lugrave, which is much smaller. But in the long run, the trade that could result from your armies traveling across the continent to places that have resources that your great city could thrive with could be of great benefit to you in the long run.
Also, not to mention the spread of the glory of Galadorn's great army and what they can do to protect places that maybe don't have anything you could really call an army.
It could.
Also, we're just the couriers, right? I mean... Oh, right. I mean, but...
Don't worry, I shall not be shooting any messengers.
What we're saying is we don't have the space to negotiate in place of Thaddeus, but what
We
would
do
get
know
at
that there
is-
is great need for help.
I see.
We've lost one of our party members.
Multiple.
You say, I am sorry for your losses.
They're
You
not
say
huge,
the city of Voltanen has fallen to the Silver Stake.
completely.
What other atrocities have you witnessed across this great continent of ours?
Not only this continent, Silver Stake are also in Windfell.
What in particular? What was that? A mass suicide, you would say? A mass sacrifice?
They tried to enact something called the ignition, and I would like to explain briefly and eloquently what happened on fucking Rovengul.
Yeah, wonderful. So yeah, you explain that a large gathering of cultists were sacrificed in some sort of dark blood ritual in an attempt to gain an army of darkness that went awry.
If you think it would help, as she explains that, could I kind of translate for these crowds in Elvish?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm just saying exactly what Cholula is describing, but also in Elvish.
Yeah.
And I'll do the same in Dwarven. After a couple paragraphs, I'll turn around and do the same in Dwarven.
Absolutely. That is a fucking power play. Hell yeah. As you continue your discussion with King Hervalor Galadorn and kind of weigh and kind of weigh your points and experiences against that of what is requested in the treaty. Could I have one of you make a persuasion check with advantage?
Okay.
The speaker and the words chosen. Oof.
What is your?
Those
Are
are
you?
both natural 19s, and I have a +8 to persuasion.
Yo.
You every time you get advantage, you roll the same thing. Every
It
time you get
happens a lot.
disadvantage, you roll the same thing.
You raise a striking argument. In many languages, I might say. Very impressive. I shall sign this treaty on a condition. You call yourselves mere couriers, but I can see by the way you carry yourselves, the way you interact with those around you, and those things you carry on your persons. You are adventurers, no?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yeah. Yes.
You also speak of Waterdeep, across the Sea of Squalls on Windfell.
Yes.
I seek an important artifact. It belongs to my family. A mirror from the ruins of my ancestral home, within the spiral wood of Windfell. It has been separated from my family for generations, and I've only learned of it recently, and its significance. What it does is not important, but what is important is that the mirror be retrieved unbroken and covered with a cloth. If you can retrieve this sacred artifact for the Galadorn family, I shall sign this treaty and support a united confederation of Mr. Nor.
As the treaty stands now.
As it stands here within my palm.
As he says this and kind of like strikes a pose, slightly louder than whispers now, a low cacophony of voices kind of whispering to one another, kind of rumbles throughout the nobles around you.
My brain was trying to like guess what you were gonna say, and for some reason it went to like several little like people kind of creeping up and like sketching his pose.
Oh, that's happening too. There's actually been
There's always
three,
artists.
Yeah, there's been 3 dudes on either side of you, so 6 in total, that have actually just had full-on easels set up and have been painting since you entered the room.
Nice.
Are
we
yeah,
in
3 of them. Yeah, 3 of them are kind of like in front of you, looking in your direction, painting, and the others are kind of off to the side, getting kind of a back silhouette of you guys, but the majesty of Othorion Hervalor Galadorn.
Your Highness, my comrades here are returning to Windfell shortly, but finding the mirror may take some time. Is there any way that we could simply add the condition that should this mirror not return to you within, say, the month, that the treaty is null and void, but for now, stands as is? Within...
I'm gonna like kind of
I try in Elvis. Elvish.
within 4.
You shall have 12 seasons.
Right.
Alright, well,
But Mr. Nor doesn't.
no, we have seasons.
No, what I am saying, I think there is a bit of a miscommunication between us.
Can I try and communicate real fast in Elvish and get it worked out?
Yeah, basically what he's saying is he will sign the treaty now,
Okay.
but his signature will become null and void if within the next 12 seasons, which would be 3 years,
Oh,
if the mirror is not returned to him.
Okay.
Also, being an elf yourself and kind of getting it, but you're a rabbit, you're a little more kind of...
I'm not from the same culture.
Absolutely not. But there is kind of, this this discrepancy between most mortal humanoids and elves, which is that elves don't really care how time works because it doesn't affect them
Yeah.
in any substantial way.
Yeah.
So 3 years to King Galadorn is,
Not
fucking whatever. He's been the king for like 800 years.
right.
You have a deal.
Wondrous. I shall use this peculiar quill.
I do need that back.
And kind of like turns and pauses for a moment and wait, kind of like waiting. And as he does, two of the painters like move their whole setups, kind of like to like one is like next to you, and one of the ones in front of you kind of like motions for him to move because he wants to get a shot of you guys as well as this is happening. And they begin furiously painting as just the largest and most egregious signature is added. Make sure to get the title of king and each of his 3 names in their entirety at the bottom of this treaty, which he then closes and holds above his head. And as he does, cheers erupt within the throne room. And he hands the treaty down to one of his armored guards, who steps down and hands it back to you, Rabbit.
I got the pen.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you for what you have done for the city this day, and what you have done for Mr. Nor.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Noah will be
Thank you.
eternally grateful.
Of course. Well, we've got many other appointments to get to this day.
Just one more thing.
Silas,
I would love to go on to. Is there any way we could carry a seal of yours in order to carry out your task in fetching a mirror? You know, we can't just walk around saying there's an elf, a sea away, telling us to grab a mirror. It'd be nice to.
Right, actually, this is a little embarrassing, but since we'll be separate, it could be ideal for us to have 2. One for their business in Windfell and one for mine here, in your name.
One of the 2 of you make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Could I use a luck point to make it a flat roll?
If you need to.
Okay. Do you mind if I
Oh
Just
yeah,
to-
Silas will just freeze.
Yeah, just understanding the gravity of
Receiving
asking
a seal.
asking a royal that you just met.
I understand.
Firstly, to sign a treaty that he did not want to sign in the first place, originally, without your argument. But then also giving you a sign that basically states to anyone that you encounter that you are working directly in his name.
Well, with disadvantage, that's a 4.
Okay.
A seal of House Galadorn, I am afraid, would hold no sway in Windfell. The laws are quite different, and I am not even viewed as a royal king here in all corners of Misternor, I'm afraid. I fear this would do you no good and would put me at potential risk if something should happen to you on the road in your travels and the seal
Of course.
be taken.
that's fair.
I didn't know you weren't recognized. That's a travesty. Such a beautiful city.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm sure we'll get
Then
fine.
we'll be on our way. I will return this to Mossendale post haste.
I look forward to our meeting in 12 seasons' time.
Right.
Or sooner, if you find it.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you just want to.
Whatever
lie.
works.
Thank you,
I'm easy.
Your
much-
Highness.
How much damage would I take if I'd been biting my tongue the whole time?
100. And I guess we head out.
Bow out.
Yeah. As you turn and begin making your exit,
There's trumpets.
you guys don't see this, but he raises his hand behind you once again, and you just hear his voice ring out.
Royals and nobles of the Hall of Galadorn, the Mistwalkers.
And as he says this, there's another round of clapping. It's not abrasive, very very appropriate kind of claps and cheers as you make your way out of the throne room of King Othorion Hervolur Galadorn, led once again by this dwarf whose name I totally remember.
Barley.
Yes, Barley Burrowfound.
I was thinking about changing the name of Mistwalkers. Maybe just kind of going with
Now?
something else. Yeah, I mean,
But we're just getting recognized now.
yeah,
It's
that
a good
might
name,
Be the
Silas.
reason. Sure, it is.
It'll be more useful to me to have a recognized name if I'm traveling alone.
Yeah, I was
Speaking of-
kind of being facetious.
I need to get this back to Mossendale as soon as possible, and you two need to make your way home. And I'm gonna first hug Sylas against his will.
I'll
Can I
hug
try
back
and-
late.
Can I try and snatch those cards off him?
Make a sleight of hand check. Silas, you don't have a bag of holding currently, right?
No,
So yeah, this is a
I have a
possibility.
breast pocket and some allowance.
I would like to. I'm gonna burn a luck point.
Okay.
I argue that I'm Silas.
No.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
I mean, this roll is against your passive perception.
I might not succeed then. 18?
18 just barely succeeds. Silas's passive perception is 17.
Great.
Cholula, you clock it.
And I'm going to hug Cholula and I slip it into her bag.
Yeah, no roll required. Cholula with a passive perception of fucking 20. You know exactly what just happened.
Okay, I hug back, but I also
I'm going to hand her pen back.
thank you.
All right, friends. Remember, it's not goodbye. It's good luck.
And we're always a paper bird away, or you can have Baldwin send you to Windfell if you'd like to visit.
Right. Wish me luck getting there in one piece, though.
Yeah, good luck. I might be on another plane for a while, I don't know.
You know, I know
The
we
paper
just
bird might not
hugged
reach us.
and everything, but we could walk together back to the unsavory,
Yeah, no,
and you
yeah.
could take the cart if Baldwin is still there and able to.
Right. I was going to see if I could just scurry up a horse or something.
Oh, well, not that one.
It's still there. It's just on the street.
They're carting it by, like two guys. Smoldering.
Do you think Baldwin could make a vampire horse?
Horse dies in the street. You got to carry it by the castle.
Yeah.
Those are the rules.
Oh, a feast!
Oh, and if you run into Roscoe Sampson, let him know where we are and that we send our regards.
Right. I'll probably be spending quite a bit of time at the college.
And same with Aurora.
I'll do my best to find her.
And what's the kid at the college? What's his name?
Wilby.
Willoughby.
Yeah, Wilby as well. All of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I hand back the ring.
Oh,
The sending ring.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Hang on. Let me just. Let me make sure there's nothing we're wasting on me.
Maybe we could move over to the side so people can walk by.
Right.
I imagine you guys are kind of having this conversation.
spread out in the middle of the walkway.
Rabbit's like
I'm
digging
going
through
to-
their bag as you guys are walking.
So I hand over the ring, and I'm gonna hand over just a little satchel, wrap like a little cloth guy. It's all wrapped up. There you go. There you go. It's all yours.
To me?
Open it just to both of you. It's just out there. Just open that.
I'm gonna grab it.
Whenever you want.
What is this? I
I
open
think
it.
I know what it is.
I open it. I know. What it is.
It's an ear. Could be useful. I haven't found a use yet, but there could be a use.
We never know.
You never know.
At this point, it's kind of taking on like a leathery
It smells.
texture. It actually doesn't smell anymore. We're kind of
We've
past
gone
that
beyond
point.
smell.
Yeah, you've kept it like wrapped up and in your bag, so like there haven't been like really bugs getting to it or anything. It's more just kind of petrifying at this point.
I'll just place it in my front
Right.
pocket.
You have, if something happens with that, if you find something for it, find a way to let me know. And then I've got this glue and solvent. Do you want it? I've yet to find a way to use it.
One of these days.
And with that, I wish you the best of luck, friends.
You as well, Red.
You'll be missed in Mistinor. And hopefully, when you come back, it won't be quite such a shit show.
Hopefully.
Let me know what you find out on the other side.
Let us know how it goes with the dragon.
Oh, good point.
We'll probably do
And-
better than you, though. In our mission.
Sally, shut up.
I kick him in the teeth. No, I just kind of like finger guns, and I run off.
All right.
She runs.
No, well, yeah, just because she's fast, so it's not really so much like it's just kind
More
of
of like a
zoop.
skip, like a giddy excitement.
Yeah.
movement, I would say.
I like
Wonderful. As Rabbit darts off into the night now at this point, as the sun has set. Sylas and Cholula, what is your plan?
Heading back to Baldwin, I guess, to see if he'll
Yeah.
send us to where we need to go.
Pub?
Was there alcohol there? I
Just
think
any pub, I imagine.
I mean-
One of these levels has pubs.
he was staying at the same place, I believe, to meet us. But we could go to a pub and
He's got a ring on.
That's true.
Hey, where's a good
All right,
pub?
all right, we can find a pub.
Ah, yeah.
All right.
You know, just kind of decompressing, just another friend. The whole side of the table.
As you guys go searching for a pub, could I have one of you roll a d10?
Okay. 1.
1. You come across a
One pub.
lovely, bright building that it's painted with reds and yellows, and there are illusions of these kind of rainbow flames that flicker around the windows and the doorway. And you see a sign out front that depicts a kind of scarlet and blue and yellow bird that is fluttering, and it's there's also a title of the title. Sorry, I'm tripping all over myself. The sign out front also reads "The Painted Phoenix."
Oh,
That looks like your color palette.
it is minus the blue.
Uh-huh.
We'll go in.
Stepping inside,
Can I like mind to Valdwin?
yeah, he has a ring, correct? He
Yeah.
does. Yeah,
The
absolutely.
city isn't 10 miles wide.
No, not quite. It's more up and down than it is.
Nope, he's 10 miles deep. You can't reach him.
Yeah, you reach out to Valdwin. And the two of you find yourself stepping into the Painted Phoenix. It is a lovely, kind of bright and vibrant tavern. All different kinds of cocktails and meads and ales and things of that nature being sold. Stepping in, you see standing behind the bar is a about maybe 5'5" Aarakocra that is the spitting image of a scarlet macaw.
Nice.
Your stereotypical parrot bird, for those of you who don't know what a scarlet macaw is.
Parrot bird.
When someone says parrot, this is what you think of.
Blue, red,
Yeah, I'll go.
Jimmy Buffett.
They turn to you as you come in. Well, hello there. Welcome. What can I get for you?
Hi. What's your specialty?
Yeah, what do you...
Oh, well, we've got
What do you
all
know?
kinds of cocktails. We got a menu, and we've got plenty of meads and ales on tap. We've got a beautiful peanut butter beer right now that is just to die for.
Oh,
You know, it's getting kind of chilly. I could kill a mead right now, personally.
yes. Is there anything local to Galadon?
Oh, yeah, we got plenty of dwarven brews. You looking for something dark or something darker?
Something dark.
Wonderful. All right. You okay with an earthy taste, yeah?
Yes.
For sure.
Wonderful. 2 of those? Or did you want a mead? Winter's right around the corner.
Yeah, let's do 2 of those.
Perfect. I'll get those right out to you. It's going to come out to 1 gold piece altogether.
All right.
No problem.
She turns and begins pouring from the tap a very, very, like, the darkest beer you've ever seen. It's almost like looks like a soy sauce almost coming out of the tap.
Nice.
I adore dwarven culture, right? But I don't want it to come across as, like, problematic, you know? Like, I want to, like, tell people about how much I love dwarven culture. But, you know, you do that in certain arenas and it's like, oh, wow, he's trying to compensate for something, right?
I don't know really anything about dwarven
Oh, I
culture.
could talk your ear off.
I'm sure you
Here's
could.
drinks for you.
Oh,
I'm
right.
gonna give
Saved by the
gold
bell.
and 2 silver.
Well, thank you very much for the
Thank
tip.
you.
If you guys need anything else, you just come up, let me know. I'm Polly Patchouli. It's wonderful to be your server for the evening.
Thank you, Polly.
Polly Patchouli.
That's a good name.
It's, yeah, catchy.
Well, I think our meeting with the king went pretty well.
Yes, for sure.
So now we just have to find this mirror. I really hope it's not the same one that is already broken.
I hope not.
I was gonna ask about it, but I thought, no, if it's supposed to be in Windfell, then
I know they don't know about time, but he was really dragging every sentence along.
I don't know why you hate elves so much.
You've never lived with elves. You've never partied with elves, right? Or, like a ball, right? They're the worst. I hate small talk. They have the smallest talk. No, actually, probably the opposite. They have the most grandiose talk. Everything is like a theater production. Everything that they do, it's like, oh yeah, yesterday I ate some bad cheese and I'm feeling a bit sick. And they're like, oh, I've never been sick.
Well, what about
In
Genevieve?
my 500 years. She was different. She was...
Well, if she was different, stands to reason that there could be a lot that are different than what you've been exposed to.
It takes about a sentence before I know, right? Like it sounds horrible, but would you hang out with the king? If the king were here right now, would we be having a rousing time?
If I didn't feel like if I said the wrong thing that he'd have me killed, yeah, I could hang out with anyone.
Yeah.
As the two of you are having this conversation, Sylas, you hear a voice that kind of resonates almost all around you, but at the same time you can tell that it's coming from within you. It is young and feminine, but there's a bit of an edge to it almost. If you want to read the first page.
Ooh.
A prop. Take it in. As I have taken it in.
Oh, I shouldn't.
And you can respond if you would like.
Should I read this aloud?
That's up to you.
For the viewers and listeners, Sylas, it's me. I think I have information about the stake. Where are you? Does the "it's me" give it away?
Make an insight check.
Fine. You want to drag this shit out? Oh, I thought that was going to be a better roll. It was a 16.
16 is good.
Yeah. I have a +7. I thought it'd be like a 25 or some shit.
You're the hardest person to whisper to in this room.
Oh, you
meet
can
in the
text
middle.
him.
Here, take this can, and I'll take this. I can respond mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about to leave Mistinol, heading to Waterdeep. I'll say aloud, like doing it mentally, but like just kind of in shock, just say it out loud.
Yeah. Make a quick history check. 18. I will say, just for the sake of specifics, you're not about to head to Waterdeep. You're about to be sent to near Chillrun.
Oh, right, yeah.
Kind of the opposite end of Windfell.
Yeah, with goals of going to Waterdeep, yeah, we're being sent to Chillrun. But yeah, headed to Waterdeep, going to Chillrun.
I know. I mean, once Baldwin gets here.
Shh.
There's
Shush me. Slap him.
you hear a little bit more. For those of you at home, or maybe some first-time viewers, the way that the sending spell works, we kind of have homebrewed it a little bit. Instead of there being, the caster gets 25 words and then the responder gets 25 words.
We have rollover.
Yeah, we have a pool of 50 words that can be used to converse between the two. And I am keeping track.
Headed to Chillrun. Or headed to Waterdeep through Chillrun, or something
Yeah.
like that.
A response comes. Okay. I can meet you there.
Why are you
Or-
shooting me?
Or Vajra can send me to you now.
We need to get to Windfell first.
Okay.
How are you? I'm
How many
After
of those
that-
times did you say?
After that, it cuts out. That gets us right to 50. After how are you? I'm.
Well, I'm not great because you over here shushing me. I know where
I'm
we're
gonna, like,
going. You
reach-
don't have to announce it to everyone
gonna
here.
reach for the cards. Where are my cards? That was Alma. Alma was just in my head. I'm
Alma?
certain of it. Yes, she's meeting us in Windfell.
Did Genevieve bring it back? Alma?
I-
She's meeting us, like, physically. She's meeting us.
It sounded like Alma.
Silas! Let's go. Where's Valdwin?
Yeah, that would be nice to know.
Valdwin, are you on your way?
Where are my fucking cards?
Yes,
Have them
I'm
in this
actually just
restaurant.
coming down the street now.
Wonderful.
You said the Painted Phoenix.
Yes.
We did.
Lovely, lovely pub. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Checking myself. I don't have my cards.
Yeah, looking through everything, they're not on you.
Someone has my cards. Someone has the cards that we went to the meeting with the king, and then we left. I didn't bump into any.
Your mind clicks back to that street performer.
I mean, I hugged Rabbit.
That also happened.
She did take the iron bands from me that one time. You don't need the cards, Silas. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The one that made a magical dagger disappeared, so, I mean, what more could you get out of it?
There's a couple more in there.
How do you know?
There was a deck of cards, weren't there?
I guess.
Valdwin's on his way, he said, right? He's just a block away or something.
5 minutes. Could we get another round, plus another... What would he drink? Mead?
Blood? You have any dead animals that aren't processed?
No. We've got wine.
He's fine.
All right, another round?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah,
Plus
sure.
a wine for our friend that's meeting us.
Perfect, coming right up. That'll be another gold piece.
Red.
Goes ahead and pours. Actually, it'll be 1 gold, 5 silver for all 3.
I'll just do 2 gold.
Hell yeah. She appreciates the tips, drops off your next round. A couple of moments later, hovering through the doorway is the familiar visage of Valdwin.
Oh my god, I have to get away from these fucking elves. Hey!
Hello.
I wasn't sure if you'd like any, but we got you some wine.
Oh, I would love some, thank you.
Wonderful.
How did the meeting go?
It actually went really well.
Fantastic. I spoke Dwarvish for like 4 minutes.
Yes,
It's
and
been a long
Rabbit
time.
spoke Elvish to everyone. It was
Fantastic. I
We-
thought it was quite an impressive
Diplomats.
display.
surprised ourselves, honestly.
Beautiful storytelling, honestly.
Well,
I didn't
thank you.
remember half of it.
He did sign the treaty, but we have to find some mirror that belongs to his family that is supposedly in Windfell, and we have to get it back to him within 12 seasons, unbroken and covered in cloth.
I see.
He didn't tell us what it does.
Of course I didn't.
Mistwalkers really making waves, aren't they?
Yeah,
I
well,
suppose.
networking as well.
Take it since your friend Rabbit isn't with you, it's time to go.
Rabbit's still playing courier
After this drink, yes.
with my fucking cards. Yes,
Wonderful.
a drink. Go on.
Don't mind if I do.
Thank you, Valdwin, for
Lovely
everything
vintage.
that you've done to help us since we've met. Really,
Yeah.
Of
you've
course.
been an invaluable asset
Yes, well, you
to
are
our adventures.
always welcome at Wilt Bloom, and I'm always happy to help in any way that I can.
Wonderful.
So, Chilbrun.
Yes. I'm not particularly familiar with the city itself, but I can get you in the area. Might be a bit of wilderness, but I'm sure you're not opposed.
I'm sure the wilderness is not as dangerous as this one.
Well, it can be. Not quite as unpredictable, though.
let's
Right.
say. Yes, I'll be transporting you within the Dire Pines. It's in the northern reaches of Windfell. It might be a bit chilly this time of year.
Might be a bitch.
might be a bit of a bitch this time of year. I'm not going to lie.
Hey yo!
As fall has sprung upon us, and with its northerly latitude,
Yes.
it might be a bit chilly. So if there's any preparations or anything of that nature that you'd like to do,
We could
I think I've still got my cloak in my bag.
We've got a couple layers on. That
Maybe able to
should be
pick something up
fine.
in Chilrun anyway.
wonderful.
For outside of children. Oh, right.
Well,
Do we have a place that we should? Or do you just kind of snap your fingers?
no, we can just do it here. We do have to hold hands first.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
I shan't be joining you, but good luck in your endeavors, and may you find whatever it is that you're looking
Thank you, Baldwin.
for. And as the two of you find yourselves suddenly suctioned into a darkened space and then rapidly outward, you find yourselves standing elsewhere. You are stricken with a bitter cold wind.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my cloak and shit. Put it
Yeah.
on.
Quickly bundling, there's a light snow falling around you as you look up and you see the largest pine trees that you've ever experienced. Just this massive forest of huge trees.
Holy shit.
And that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break. We'll be back in this return to Windfell.
Uh-oh!
This is very exciting, and a part of Windfell that we haven't seen on the stream before, which is cool.
We haven't seen it.
But before we go, we have a giveaway to announce. Well, we have a giveaway to, announce how people can enter.
Yeah.
To enter for your chance to win this lovely box of mystery pre-painted miniatures from WizKids provided to us by our lovely sponsor, More Fun Comics and Games, our local comic book shop, go ahead and type the word Royals in chat.
Royals.
Royals. To enter for your chance to win, you've got to be a follower to be eligible to win the giveaways. And yeah, it's totally free. We cover the shipping. We eat that for you. Hey, shout out to Cynical for the follow and the cheer. Thanks so much.
Whee!
They say they respect the beards. Thanks.
Damn it.
I forgot I had one.
I forget it's there every day.
Every day.
We'll be back in about 20 minutes to announce the winner of this giveaway and continue on with our story and see what lies in store. So don't go away. We'll see you soon.
I gotta remake that OBS.
Side bean.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we hop back in and continue our adventure, we have a giveaway to announce.
Oh, it's me, your giveaway.
Oh my god, how's it talking?
That's what it's mouth.
The winner of the More Fun mystery giveaway is Dingo Panic!
Dingo Panic! Oh my god!
Congratulations, Dingo Panic. I think we've got your info because you've won before.
I was a dingo.
Oh, I see.
I was panicking.
Congratulations on your win. We send out prizes at the end of the month. And now, what I'm sure some of you have been anticipating, because we said up top we were going to do this. Stop, guys.
Oh, Cameron's not gonna talk about dice. Damn it.
Oh, he is though.
Spoilers,
Though.
shit.
Just in a minute.
I can say the alphabet.
He can't.
A B B.
To enter. Are you doing capitals and lowercase?
That's the only one I know. It's the classroom record.
To enter for your chance to win this beautiful set that you see beneath me, probably, of Fable Fire dice, the ignition dice. Go ahead and type the word
home in the chat. It's H-O-M-E.
Because we're back where it all began.
Can you make another set that I can buy from you?
I actually have 2 more versions of this set.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll announce the winner of this dice giveaway closer to the end of the stream, so stay tuned, stick
Who knows?
around.
Maybe we'll run into an NPC that likes to give away dice.
You never know.
Oh, it's you guys. Oh, right here. You just say a name out loud.
And that brings us back in. Sylas and Cholula, you find yourselves standing alone in a forest of dire pine trees. What would you like to do?
The moon.
I'd like to see if I can figure out what direction we should go.
Yeah. Oh shit, hang on. I should have done this during the break, and I have to use my brain on camera.
Oh no, they're all gonna see it.
Because you guys went... You were here on the map.
I still
I'm
have
looking
the
at the
map.
map. If you were here on the map,
Uh-huh.
you went up here on the map.
Okay.
There's a pretty considerable curvature
Yeah,
there.
Well, you gotta add in the Coriolis effect.
Sun. Going like this, right?
Okay.
So it's actually early morning now, where it was just kind of getting into the early evening. In Mistinor, it is now, you can just see a little bit of the sun cresting over the horizon through the thick
What direction is the sun?
trunks of the
progressing over
trees.
the horizon?
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, the sun rises in the east.
Oh, that was easy. I was really discombobulated. I don't know if I made that clear. But that's east.
So we need to go
That's east.
north.
Fuck if I know. I just know that that's east. I mean, that's north, but I don't know where we are in relation to. I don't. Why here? Does he have like a childhood memory here or something?
He said his family had been from here. I don't know.
From right here. This is the place he remembers. Right here next to. Do I see any smoke on the horizon? Anything that would give me some civilization vibes?
Make a survival check
Okay.
to see if you can survive.
Oh, it's gonna be difficult. It's 11. I
11.
squint too hard.
Not terrible. From this vantage point, you don't see. Yeah, it's hard to see much of even a horizon. You just kind of get the glimpses of the light coming through these massive tree trunks all around you as you go. While less alien feeling than Mistinor, where it's pretty much depending on where you are, you're either in a place where the dirt is entirely like ruby red or obsidian black. You're back to your simple, it's just brown earth with grass growing and bushes. But the trees are very large, and they dominate a lot of the like visual sight around you. But you can't see the sun rising in the west. You don't see, however, any smoke plumes or anything specifically that points towards civilization.
Can I remember, because I can't remember, if Valdwin said where outside of Chilrun he was putting us, like, directionally?
I will say Valdwin did not specifically tell you where. He just said outside of Chilrun.
Okay.
He didn't give a direction.
We spend the rest of our lives and 0 of his looking for. Could I look for like a clearing or like see if I can get out of the woods? Just kind of pick a direction.
Yeah, which direction do you pick? You know where west is, so you've
Just-
got your cardinals.
Just looking for enough of a clearing so I can see if I can see smoke or something. If I can find
Yeah.
like a mountain.
Which direction do you search for a clearing?
And what do you think? We need to head in some direction to find a clearing.
Let's head west.
West. Okay. That feels opposite. I'm going to go west now, which is this way. Yes? Sun west.
Yes, well, because Valdwin's a vampire, and I just feel like maybe we should go away from the sun.
It moves. I mean, we move, and it appears to move
Well, then how about you pick a direction and I'll follow you?
Your direction. Can we talk about this for a second? Your
Sure.
direction was based on the fact that the sun came up and he wants to be far away from it.
Yes. That's really all I've got to go on. I don't know where outside of children we are.
I start walking north.
Alright.
Okay. As the two of you begin walking north, could I have one of you just roll a straight d20?
Roll a 20 for dinosaur.
2.
2. Could I have you also roll a d6?
This is how many dinosaurs.
5.
Buckle in.
Times 5.
Heading to the north. You travel for the better part of maybe 2.5 hours before coming to what appears to be a dirt path or a road.
Oh,
Shit.
what?
It was boring. There's a road now. Which way is it running?
It runs north to south or
Okay.
south to north.
We ran into it.
Sorry,
If we're walking.
you ran into a curve of it.
Okay. Oh god, we've walked so
It
far.
was one of those situations where you, like, looking at it now, you realize, like, oh shit, if we had gone west, we probably would have just hit this immediately. You've just been kind of like walking parallel until it curved and you happened to cross its path.
So it's a road. Do I get the impression that forward, continuing north, is good for road? Or does it look more rural in that way?
Make another survival check.
You check that way, I'll check this way.
He did talk about how cold it was, so I imagine Northwood would be where we'd go.
Cholula, make a history check.
19.
Okay.
19 survival, nice.
11.
11, rad. Sylas, on your 19 survival check.
That was 15, that was a 9.
History.
Oh,
I have +2. Very
I thought you
good.
said survival.
Continuing on, or rather, finding the road. That tracks. I'll say on a 19 survival. Silas, you haven't done a lot of travel, really any travel around Windfell outside of the city of Waterdeep, which is vast. And there are still, alleys and buildings and shops that you haven't even been to there. But you do have a basic understanding of kind of the layout of Windfell. And I would say that you are aware that the Dire Pines are actually kind of to the south of Chilrun, closer to a small port town called Port Dampier, where you can kind of get a ferry down to Dark Pines, which is a different city. It's kind of on the way to Waterdeep. If you were up in this area, that would be the fastest route to go. So, kind of getting this layout in your mind, you remember, the Dire Pines. As the pines become less dire and become more just a normal coniferous forest further to the north, that is where Chilrun lies. And that is probably where this road leads.
It's alright, I mean, if those are the Diapines, then Dampier would be south. So this should be good,
Okay.
right? Like Dampier. Yeah, yeah, there's maps in gentlemen's restrooms. Yeah, I think it's Dampier.
Lucky.
Chilrun. Yeah, they just put things over the troughs, right? Like, just look, a thing.
Silas, make a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw.
Mhm.
I hope I save my wisdom. 8.
8. Rad. The two of you continue north. Along the road, there's a nice, almost comforting feeling to traveling on a beaten path. The last several weeks that you've been months, I think, at this point, trekking across Mistinor has been just relentlessly cutting through wilds that refuse to yield. It's nice to be back in a place that is traversed, maybe not frequently, but has been charted for the most part.
But our calves, though.
True, yeah. Both of you, yeah, just a couple of juicy peaches walking.
Just bursting out of pants.
Thanks, Silas.
Just booties below
Gay.
the knees.
Continuing on. Cholula, after about another maybe, not very long, maybe 10 minutes of walking, you hear a faint kind of like dampening sound, as if something fell from a tree.
Can I tell which direction it came from?
Yeah, it came from kind of behind you and a little to the left off the road.
It sounded like something fell
It's probably a branch. Right? Where?
behind us.
I turn
Can I
around.
see anything?
Grab the hilt of my sword.
Yeah. The two of you turn around. Silas, you grab the hilt of your sword as a figure kind of walks out from the pines, brushing themselves off. Long, almost like platinum white hair, and kind of brushing themselves off. If I could have Sam return to the table.
Oh, why were you
And-
in a tree?
Why was I in a tree?
And if you wouldn't mind describing your character for us.
Yeah. So this character is, for one, more prepared to be in the cold than both of you. She's wearing like a white cape with like white fur lining, long white hair, and even though it's still early morning, you can kind of see that their eyes are like glowing blue. And you see Alma.
Alma, Cholula kind of like starts to run and then like waits for Silas to go run first.
Well, and then I just like.
And
hug
then I
you.
run.
Yeah, and then I hug you as hard as humanly possible.
It's one of
I
those
can't wait
spinny
anymore,
hugs.
and I crush both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, okay. Well, okay, you're not mad. That's great.
Why would
That's
we be
progress.
mad?
Well,
Oh, because I died.
That wasn't your fault.
Genevieve seemed mad at first. She's over it now. It's
where is she?
Did
Where
she
is
give you his things that she stole? She kind of took all of his stuff.
Yeah.
I'll say she gave you a pouch containing about 100 platinum.
this?
That's what was left over from
A pouch or a bag of holding?
a bag of holding. Sorry.
I snatched that shit. Sorry. That is what she would do. And then I just like apply it to my belt.
Great. So you
How
have
long
that?
have you been back?
About a week. About a little less than a 10-day.
Wow.
How?
Wow.
How? Actually, if you don't mind.
There was a lady. We didn't really get to many introductions. We kind of went straight back home after, but I was in the astral plane for a little while, and I handled some things there. That was rejuvenating, we'll call it.
Both of you make an insight check.
Okay.
Or perception. Your choice.
17?
Not one, maybe.
17 either way.
Well, I guess. I don't know. How does that work with my proficiency, like not being able to roll below 10?
I'd say a natural one is a natural one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we'll say insight.
The way that we play. Sylas, there's definitely, like, this is absolutely Alma. But she seems different. She's more vibrant. There's more color in her face. Whereas before it was that kind of ever lingering sense of like, are you breathing? Now there's color in the face, and there's a faint, almost glow to her blue eyes.
So,
No-
there? Do
No
we know?
deals were made or anything, right?
Not to my knowledge. I think there was an exchange of money, I believe, between Genevieve and this lady, and then I was here, and that's great. I don't have ghosts anymore. I think Genevieve does. She keeps kind of looking in places. Anyway, she's fixing up the mansion, and trying to restore her business, but she did promise there wouldn't be any more organized crime. So I don't know if it's gonna go well. Kind of the whole thing was organized crime, as you might remember. So we'll see. But that's fine. Anyway, the important thing, we should start walking. We need to go this way.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll start guiding towards Chill Run, as I assume, told to generally head, maybe, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, that's where they told you that they were headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I've been with Vajra, the Black Staff, for a few days now. While I was dead, I learned some things. Let me pull those notes. There's a lot of them. So, while I was gone, something bad happened here on this plane of existence, the living one. So, there are gods. We know that, all of us, right? We're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. As long as we all get a eh. But there used to be other gods, right? The primordials.
Yes, we would recently sort of ran into some information about the old gods.
Right, great. So what do you know already?
Oh shit.
We
Well,
know that there were sort of like a 3 sort of situation where they kind of showed up following each other, may or may not be siblings. One of them was the bringer, and we found this. Do you have the thing?
Oh, right, yes. I go over like the bestower, keeper, tempest thing that I've kind of learned.
Right. So destruction, cultivation, and preservation.
Yeah, that.
And a long time ago, those primordials shattered into a lot of pieces, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. It's hard to say. Some of those are bigger than others. There's really big pieces, and there's really tiny pieces that are more or less inconsequential. And those pieces have influence over the balance of the world as we know it, right? And unfortunately, at some point, a really big piece of preservation was destroyed. The tree Chandragora in Mistinor.
Yeah, we were there.
We didn't do it.
You didn't. Okay, that's good. That was my next
The
question.
Fey creature, the one that you
The
made a
hag.
deal with, and you made a deal with, and everybody made a deal with.
No more deals.
The hag had gathered silver stake around this tree and did something called the ignition. The whole thing went up in flames, along with the people. Sort of, there was symbols that they had drawn. She did it wrong and died, so Faith's taken care of. But
That's great.
yeah,
that-
the tree.
Tree's gone. Right. So, with preservation now out of balance, cultivation and destruction are kind of fighting for the top spot. And, cultivation would be great, but that might not happen. They need to be in balance. just in case, because we really don't want it to be destruction, right? Anyway, Vajra and I think that perhaps the stake has a large piece of destruction that is influencing them in some way, and they may know it or they may not. It could be fully unconscious.
Well, chances are they don't know, based on the people we saw. There's probably a couple that do and a bunch that don't.
Right. Or, all of them have tiny pieces of destruction that are also influencing them. Either way, we have some options if we wanted to try and restore balance to the world. We could try and find equivalent pieces of destruction cultivation and destroy them to match
So-
Chandragora.
Quickly,
Right.
since we've already met with you here, do we need to go to Chillrun, or should we head towards Waterdeep?
Oh, I'm just cold and I know that there's buildings in that direction. I'm not really...
Do you know how far we are from Chillrun?
You can make a survival check.
We've
Use
run like
my
2.5
big Alma chunk.
hours from
9.
9. No. So, Alma, you were with the Blackstaff, Vajra.
Right.
And the only reason that you were able to be quickly teleported to the location that Sylas and Cholula were is because the Blackstaff scryed on Sylas and over the course of the 10 minutes of the spell became comfortable enough with his near surroundings to send you to that location. You, however, don't know where exactly you are. You knew that
Right.
you knew the area around Chillrun, but you don't know exactly. Even Vajra didn't know exactly. She saw essentially within like a 10-foot radius of Sylas for about 10 minutes and then was like, okay, I got this, and sent you there.
Oh, ring.
Oh, right. We got these from a wonderful person in the College of Magic and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we can talk to each other through the rings as long as we're within 10 miles from each other. I had another separate part of the question besides should we keep going this way?
Well, it's
Uh,
either she'll run a Dampier or the woods, which the woods are that way.
I'm not sure which we're closer to, but Dampier is where you would get on a ferry to Waterdeep, correct?
Do I get the feeling that we're not in the dire pines anymore? It's kind of fading out.
Yeah, so everybody make a survival check.
Okay.
This is to
there we
recall your collective knowledges of the continent that most of you are from.
19.
17.
Nice. Okay. So, if you were to head south, back into the Dire Pines, through the Dire Pines, you could make your way to Port Dampier, where you could then catch a ride on a ferry, head south to Dark Pines, which is a settlement. Let me actually look at a map instead of just speaking out of my ass.
There's that like,
like a curve.
kind of channel, right?
That goes
And
up to
there's the
Dampier.
forest here, and then Dampier or Dark Pines is down here, and then you
There's
would go straight across
Yes.
to get to Waterdeep.
Let me just throw this in the Discord real quick.
Okay.
We have a Discord. You can get there if you go to our About section here on Twitch.
Watching.
I love that it's just you can get
Yeah,
there.
the Watching Arcanarama live channel is where I'm going to be posting this.
Isn't there a maps one?
There is. Let's do it in that one instead. It might actually already be in there,
I'm a
but
map, I'm a map, I'm
I will re-add it anyway. Boom. Map of Windfell. Here we are. So if you all
been
look
so
on
long.
class. So you're kind of in the area surrounding, like just south of Chillrun, kind of around the bottom of those L's currently.
Okay.
If you head south, you can get to Port Dampier, which is not listed on the map because it's a very small settlement. It's more of a port than a town, which will take you down that channel to Dark Pines, which from there you can travel either across the Hillock Sea or kind of cut south through the plains beneath the Hillock Sea and kind of, you could stop by Hillslip if you wanted and make your way back to Waterdeep. That's one option. There is, however, another path that leads through the Galen mountain range, which is also not labeled, but it is this mountain range right here. So if you cut off this way, there's a path that leads through the Galen mountain range to Galen's Folly, which is a small village at the edge of the Hillock Sea. And then you could travel southward from there towards Waterdeep as well. It's really just up to whether you want to go through mountains or go over water. It's up to you. I'd say it's actually probably a bit longer to take the ferry because you're kind of going down in a backwards L, whereas if you were to go through the mountains, it's a little more treacherous. It's treacher-ish, but but it's a faster route to kind of hook over and then go straight down. But I leave it up to you.
I mean, we
don't
could.
enjoy the cold, but whichever way
True.
you prefer.
We could stop in Chill Run and we could, get better equipped for the cold, or we could rough it and just try to get to Waterdeep as soon as possible.
I mean, right now, if I may, Waterdeep is safe. There was an attempted invasion recently. It was fought off.
Silver Stake?
Silver Stake.
You said what? Waterdeep is safe. Chill Run?
Well, now I feel like we should check on Chill Run.
Yeah, right.
But they don't know us here as well as they did in Mistinor, so
True.
as far as they're concerned, we're just some people coming through.
And even if Silver Stake is taken over, we might be able to buy a coat.
Could be something. Either's fine. I'm at the mercy of you fine ladies again.
I think
For now, let's head to Chill Run and try and get some equipment, and from
Yeah.
there, as long as it's
Yeah,
not...
I'm not really mountainous right now. I
Crawling
don't
with-
think I can do that.
I didn't bring coats, did I? I got one for me.
Yeah, whatever you've got in your inventory is what you have.
And I could use new
Nothing.
boots because they were destroyed by that fucking forest.
Speaking of, could I have Cholula and Sylas make a Constitution saving throw?
okay.
Okay. Speaking of boots,
14.
I don't know why I thought that was a 2. It's a 16. It's a 19. I'll put.
Nice. Each of you stave off the effects of exhaustion as the bitter cold continues to beat against you. I will remind you, you guys have been pretty much packed and dressed for summer for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
I'm probably still in that pirate shit that I had on at the island.
Yeah,
Like
open
it's
shirt.
like maybe like the vest.
Yeah, when you were walking through, like tropical swamps and stuff.
Alright, let's head to Chill Run, and hopefully it's not been taken over and we can just get some clothes and some sleep. And
Right. It's like I hadn't prepared to see you again, so I don't have anything to say.
I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out what was going on before I got back in contact, and I found out a lot. And also there was an invasion kind of
Yeah,
going
right.
on. So that was kind of a lot, and the black staff was busy, and I didn't know what you were up to. Where's Aurora?
Silver Stake.
Silver
Of
Stake.
course, of course.
My mother
We went
seems to
to-
be a leader of some sort.
We were helping people escape Altanan and Mistinora. The Silver Stake had taken over entirely, the whole city. And she, I guess, was taken while we were helping everyone else escape.
Right.
And we haven't had any contact since.
Yeah.
So things are going well.
Really good.
There
Yes.
is a
right.
treaty being passed around Mistinor to unite the non-Silver Stake armies.
Great. So the good news is those treaties already exist here. So, like Waterdeep, the major cities won't be taken over, but the smaller villages
Right.
are struggling against it. Galen's Folly near Waterdeep was taken over shortly, and then after staving off the invasion at Waterdeep.
Well, it stands that
Waterdeep
Chilrun stood up
forces-
to it then, right?
Most likely, as long as we don't pass through any small villages, we should be okay. And I genuinely don't know how far their reach is here yet. I haven't really had time to
Do
investigate.
I don't know if you've checked on it, but
This is a walk and talk.
Yes, for sure.
Cool, just keeping.
do you know the feelings in Waterdeep about us and where we have been, and do they think that we're dead? Do they still recognize that we have the deed to the tavern?
The tavern that got swallowed up into a sinkhole?
It was.
Well, it was more turned to rubble.
It was
Wasn't a
shaken to
It-
death.
there's
It
still
wasn't
flat
a
ground that could be
sinkhole.
built
It was-
Do I
upon.
know anything
was
about the
twisted.
status of the tavern?
I'll leave that up to you if you went by to check it out. I will say you've been back for about 8 days now. Mm-hmm.
Some of that was spent barely being alive.
The first 4 of those days were spent recovering from being exhausted on account of having been dead.
Right.
So you've had about 4 days to kind of get things together, and most of that has been with the Blackstaff. But if Alma would have gone by,
Would I have at least passed by it on the way to the Blackstaff from the manor?
you could have if you wanted to.
Then yes. May I know whether or not there's flat earth there? What's...
Currently, it is a flat, vacant lot.
Great.
Grass had begun to grow over the dirt, but yeah. How long did you linger there?
Probably not. Especially if there was no building, probably not very long.
Okay. Then yeah, it's just a blank vacant lot that technically you do still own.
Tight.
There's just no building on it currently.
So as far as I know, still our property. Good news, no sinkhole. Bad news, no building.
Right.
So, we could do kind of an outdoorsy thing if you wanted.
Anything about dragging at a parade?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, good.
I mean, maybe people talk about it. I didn't really get into that. I tried not to wander out on my own too much, because if the stake did get me, I'm just a little guy.
How did you get here?
Vajra sent me. Okay, so Vajra, we've been together a little bit. She's very busy. So I've kind of just been chasing her down hallways while she's in between meetings. But she managed to make some time for me today. So I messaged you and found out where you were, and then she scried on you to try and get an idea of where
Okay.
you were. And that's why I was in a tree.
I don't know why that comes from.
She had to make a best guess as to where you were, and the answer was in a tree, apparently.
Okay, yeah. That was gonna bother me.
So yeah, I can't do that.
Okay.
Either of those things. I can send messages, and I can do other things.
And
obviously.
Genevieve is fine.
She seems okay. She seems a little haunted, but not super haunted.
And you've been with her?
Yeah.
You've
She knows that she knows that I came to find you. She was a little upset, but then she said, "Well, I guess if the world is going to explode otherwise, then I guess this is the best course of action." And I said, "Yes, I know." But I mean, she's keeping herself very busy. She said, "Sorry, but you get it," and that was the message that I.
That means
That's
she's
really-
not doing great. She distracts herself with things.
Isn't that what we all do?
So about these pieces,
Right.
what would they look like? What would they be?
They could be anything. The bigger the shard, usually the bigger the object, like Chandragora, the tree.
So the shards, the
I think it's more
finite, the
maybe metaphorical. I haven't seen any in person. I don't know if there's a core, but I know that they can be small. They could be very small, like inside of a ring. Usually they have magical properties, correct?
In every instance.
In every single instance, they do have magical properties.
Do I remember anything from the tree, like when we were inside? Was there anything that stood out that was like a statue or something that was like odd that we didn't really interact with that could have been a larger piece of the shard?
Well, it was the tree, right?
Yes.
The tree
The tree
itself didn't encase it. It was it.
Correct. So, based off of the information that you received on the shards manifest into things. They're given shape by will. The way that it was explained to you, though they're now referred to as the primordials, these beings were gods. And you can't necessarily kill a god. There are some who theorize that it's possible. But in essence, you can't kill a god, you can only break it down.
You cannot destroy matter. You can only change it.
Correct. So these
Horcruxes.
these shards, though unable to reform themselves alone, they can hold sway over other beings and kind of manipulate things that way. But they can take the form of anything from a ring to a massive tree rooted into the ground. It just depends on, mostly the god that it is a shard of,
Right.
and whose will it has manipulated itself around.
Right. I will explain this.
The god of ball bearings.
So, how do you find out
Oh god, it's the moon.
something that you're looking at is
That's no moon.
one of the pieces?
Well, that's what I've been trying to figure out with Vajra. We haven't made much progress, whether or not all magical things are shards, or whether or not just some magical things are shards. And
It stands to reason that it would be something, some of them could be something culturally significant, right? The tree was...
right, it stands to reason that the largest shards would be something that people flock to because they have influence. What those are, though, I have no idea.
We need to find ourselves a map maker or some kind of cartographer and see if there are landmarks about this continent, right? Like, at least starting there.
Right.
Civilizations would build themselves around their beliefs and things
Is there
that compel them to do things.
Is there anything in like Waterdeep that stands out to me that could be like is it built around anything that seems
Shardy.
Is there anything which has sharded itself?
Has anyone sharded Waterdeep?
Make a history check.
18.
18, not bad. Nothing that immediately jumps out. You are aware of Undermountain, which is not... It's a place more than a thing.
Right.
But it is just dark, dungeonous depths that adventurers kind of flock to. There's said to be all number of, valuable items and things that lie within, and tons of people have died looking for them. As far as landmarks, nothing stands out particularly about Waterdeep. Nothing particularly stands out. It's something that would probably take some research or investigating to get to the bottom of. This is, again, ancient knowledge that really only you specifically have.
Right. If I had thought about it a little more, fuck yeah.
It's so good to have you back.
If maybe maybe if I had had more time or more of my wits about me, I would have maybe asked more questions.
No, you're fine. You said 4 days?
Right, but I mean, like, during that time where I was dead, is how I found most of this out.
You said you're not haunted anymore, but you were conversing with and discovering things in your...
That's...
What was it like? Can I say that? You're not dead anymore. Can I ask you what the afterlife is like?
For me, right, it's different for everybody because there's different gods and different places that we're all sent to. For me, it was kind of like a purgatory that I was trapped in, where I had to sever all of those.
Elves?
There was me, I guess.
There were some elves.
There's elves. Sometimes there's elves.
Oh, it's not all elves.
It's not just elves.
Oh.
It's not just seas of elves. It was kind of like being in a long hallway. And sometimes there were rooms and sometimes there were windows. It was hard to ever get an idea of where I was. But anyway, so I severed my connections to the ghosts. So those are gone.
You're just like a sentence? You just kind of said, oh, I've got scissors here, and then you cut the connection.
That's not how she talks, Silence.
Oh, look at me, I'm small.
Are we already fighting? I just got here. Bilious.
Dog.
She responded to that name
Yeah.
positively.
It's a soothing voice that I use for this. It depended on the ghost and their relationship to death and to me and how strong that connection was. And sometimes I had to get violent with them, and that happened. And sometimes I had to just be like, hey, I gotta not have you leeching off of my life force anymore. And they were like, you know what, my bad. That happens sometimes. I am a ghost, so I do that. I'll kindly take my leave.
You negotiated them not leeching off of your life force when you were dead.
Yeah.
That's probably what was easier
Yeah,
to do
it's
with
probably.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I
I
did
was kinda-
feel.
I was
did
kinda
feel
like-
less full.
I was kind of like, hey, we're both in the same boat now. I'm not bothering you, so
There's
if
a
you
boat?
could stop it metaphorically.
Oh, okay.
You like
I'd heard
boats?
about boats. I didn't think you get coins and you go to boats, right when you die.
Why does this happen in every conversation that we're in? It's a metaphorical boat. We're all in the same boat. You've heard it. I
I've
know
heard
you
that,
have.
but you're talking about the afterlife.
Right.
You're talking to ghosts,
No,
so
you're
I
right.
thought there were
you're
boats.
Right. You're
I'm
right.
sorry.
That's on me. It's on me. There were no boats. It was
Okay.
kind of just like
been just a
walking
no.
forever.
So, what is it that we
Been
need
there.
to do as Mistwalkers about
Right.
these shards?
Helping smaller towns, finding shards.
That could be a good start.
Do the stake seem to be? Is it just kind of all-out attack, or are they focusing on things? That could tell us where shards are.
Well, they, at least as far as I know, they were trying to take Waterdeep, but they don't seem as organized here as they were in Mist
Oh, we
North.
fucked their shit up over there.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I mean, not like just us, but like kind of just us. It was hard to tell them, that
No, right.
they're so bad. They're so disorganized over there.
Right. Well, the home advantage here is that they're a lot more organized against the Silver Stake here, so right now they seem like small potatoes, but I don't think that's going to last. Especially not if this is a global organization. Ey.
I hope that
And on top of that, we have the Black Rain here, and I haven't quite figured out what they're up to just yet, but I have a theory that there's another shard involved. I can't say that for sure. Mostly I've been focusing on the big one, like the big group,
Yeah.
Right.
not the big. I don't know where the shards are. I should repeat that just one more time. I don't know where they are.
Well, I think we
So
found it.
we have some options. We could either try and destroy pieces of destruction and cultivation and try and even things that way, or we could try and create a larger shard of preservation again and even the odds that way. Both will be difficult.
I know how to destroy things. The second thing you mentioned seems way out of grasp.
both seem hard to accomplish, don't they?
I could break a thing, but if you said, hey, could you make a bigger piece of preservation?
Well, if
as big as a tree that's about a mile wide.
Well, I mean, both are difficult, right? Because the shards are magical objects and most likely being held by someone who is probably under their influence, and especially the shards of destruction make people not super they're not super into oh yeah, you need this, I'd be happy to give it over to you. They're more like, actually this is mine, I'll kill you for it.
Yeah. So is there a foolproof way of finding out whether or not something is a shard? Do we take it to the Blackstaff? Or...
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay, we'll figure that out together. I'm just trying to catch up
Right.
with things. And there's no accusations here. I'm just...
I have so far done the best that I can with 4 days of being back on the planet.
You've done really great.
Thank you.
Seriously. And I'm going to try to trip her, if I could.
Yeah. A tripping attack. This would technically be like a shove. So make an athletics check. And Alma, you can make either an acrobatics or an athletics check as well.
19.
18.
Just barely. You do manage to trip her, but you notice as you go in, the moment that you start moving quickly towards her, there's an instant reaction.
I won't let her fall all the way down. I'll catch her, but
I was planning to do that weird little hop you do when you trip over something, that little bounce.
Yeah, but there's that moment of going into a stance, but then losing the footing, and then kind of just catching herself.
that's good then. Haven't lost everything.
Right.
Do I see smoke forward? Just trying to just kind of and then just walk forward.
Make a survival check. There's got to be smoke somewhere. Someone has to be smoking there.
It's
I think he means out of buildings.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. I know.
But there's just a guy in a leather jacket smoking next to a tree.
fucking move, sir. Survival 15.
15. You, oddly enough, as you kind of come around a
Oh,
bend,
good, they're not solar yet.
as the trees begin to kind of thin in the area, and you come to more of this sort of liminal space between forest and plains and kind of being at the foot of a mountain range. You see mountains in the distance as you kind of crest over this hill, and looking out you see this massive fortress of a city. Very reminiscent, oddly, of Altanin. There are 100-foot tall walls that enclose this sort of... let me actually look at my maps again.
Check the maps.
Hey, here we are. This sort of oblong, mostly circular city.
It's a funny word.
Is it?
Oblong.
It is odd to say.
Yeah.
Oblong.
And you see yourself following the road that you're on, leading up towards several kind of small wooden buildings that, and the walls themselves are just battered by the elements. There's ice and massive icicles hanging from different areas, and buildings topped with snow, and again, icicles dangling off of them as well. But oddly enough, you don't see smoke rising from within the city.
Any banners?
No banners are flown. You don't see any symbols of the Silver Stake from here. You just see this kind of looming obelisk of stone.
We can give it a shot.
We come this far.
Just... You could have looked away. There's a whole forest for you to do that.
She'll never look away. She'll never burn the other
Is
direction.
that that dwarven ale that we had?
It really wasn't as long ago as it seems.
It feels like, yeah, it feels very present now.
Just a few hours.
Yeah, just a few seconds ago, right back in my mouth. Yeah, if we could just get clothing and a horse, that would be something, or 3 horses.
We don't need to
Right.
look into anything.
Yeah, just,
Just
Unless they've been taken over by the Silver State.
of course, then we'll do
We're
something.
just clothes, somewhere to sleep, maybe a map
A map would be good.
out by morning.
right.
Did we get a map last time we were around? I don't think
I don't
so.
think a
Not like
full-
outside of Waterdeep kind of map because we didn't have it.
No, yeah, I don't think you guys have a map of Windfell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Felt more like it was like a module.
Right.
Last time we were here, it felt like it was very modular, I
Right.
wasn't concerned with the entire, it was just really just
We were
Waterdeep.
pretty focused on
Right.
some things. As far as I know, there hasn't been any news that anybody's been fully taken over.
That's good. Maybe
Good.
by
maybe they just
anybody.
like it cold, which sucks.
Yeah. But they probably have very
Or-
well-lined coat.
And this is I'm just throwing it out there. They're all dead.
Possibly.
Neat, fun.
It could be that.
There could be coats
but
all over the
hopefully
ground.
not. Hopefully it's not that.
Plenty of coats. Maybe some of the horses are alive. I hate this conversation. It makes
I
me
don't think
sad.
it's that.
It takes you about 45 minutes to follow the road all the way up towards the city of Chillrun. And before you meet the city gates, you meet this small, kind of strange, star-like, if you were looking from above, spires that kind of come out off of the walls at each gate, of which you see you're at the southernmost gate, but kind of peering off to your left from where you are approaching. You can see another road that leads up to another small clump of buildings, as it were. Mostly wooden. There are a number of citizens who are heavily bundled. You guys get a lot of the two of you specifically get a lot of glances from people passing by, like wondering how the fuck you're out here and that.
I don't know either. Yeah.
You don't have to start arguing with people just yet. We'll get there.
Everybody make a perception check.
Alright. Oh. That is a natural one.
Oof.
Oh.
I don't have luck points on this character, so
Dirty 20.
Hell yeah.
19. 12 plus 7.
Nice. Sylas and Cholula, each of you also notice that there, for every maybe 3 or 4 bundled up citizens who are maybe carrying a sled with firewood piled atop it, there are citizens that are less dressed for the climate. Definitely, there's a clear indication of poverty outside the walls. People who are gathered around small fires that are just barely being kept alight by thin bits of wood that are kind of donated to them. A lot of the homes don't look very well insulated. There's frost kind of crawling up over the windows and up the walls, and just drifts of snow piled around them. Continuing forward, you see that there is a massive gate that is currently locked up and closed, and there is a line of people standing outside, presumably attempting to get into the city.
Guess get in line.
Can I approach somebody who's in the line?
Sure, make a charisma check.
Just blanket charisma.
Mm-hmm.
14.
14? Okay. Yeah, there's a young younger, like young adult human man who's very heavily bundled and has a pretty heavy-looking pack on his back that he's been carrying. Probably some sort of, based off of like the sheer size of it, probably some sort of merchant looking to set up a stall in the city.
Hi there. It's so nice to meet you. I'm Alma.
Hi, Jaren.
Hi. Do you know where everybody came from? This seems like a lot of people. Or why the gates are closed?
Oh, well, I mean, there was an attack recently. They've locked up pretty tight.
Right.
I don't know. I know it was bad out here, but I mean, mostly the city guard fought it off. I don't know. I'm not from around here. I'm just a traveling merchant. But apparently they've stepped up checks of who's allowed in and out of the city. So longer lines, longer waits.
Right.
Hi, Silas. How long have you been waiting currently?
I've been in line for maybe hour and a half. It's moving though. I was much further back.
Yeah, I hope.
How far down does the line go from here?
Maybe like 100 yards. The length of a football field for those of you who have been on one.
American football.
I love the concept that I would know what a football field looks like.
It's pretty long.
Do you sell coats or boots?
Oh, good question.
I do, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, you look like you could use it. It's pretty cold out here.
Yeah.
Where you lot from? Kind of takes his pack off.
Water deep.
A warp thing from Waterdeep.
Right.
We
Mind if I
weren't
take some measurements so I know what size
Sure.
to dig for?
Yes.
Kind of like measures around each of you and pulls out some warm clothes that would suit you they're not incredibly, it's not fashion, but it's serviceable.
It's function.
Called it 5 gold for the 2.
Absolutely. I've got this one. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. I'm Jaren, by the way. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Cholula.
What brings you up to Children?
We're actually trying to get back to Waterdeep, and this was the closest place.
The weather.
Oh, yeah, right. Getting worse and worse as, making our way through autumn into winter.
Right.
But
Still got
maybe-
some time before the worst of it, though, I hope.
Do we want to wait in line and try to get into Children still, or should we just set up and sleep outside?
Well, now that you have coats, we could just set up a fire and
You've been here before?
start heading back towards
No.
Dampier.
Nope.
I will say, once you do get in the walls, it is quite worth it. It's a magnificent place. They got some sort of, holy overseer or something, keeps it nice and warm inside the walls.
Holy to who?
So we're
You
like
know?
walking into spring. The Fairfather, I believe.
I know that one.
Sure.
I'm trying to remember
Am I
which
familiar
god
with the
that is.
Fairfather?
Make a religion check.
Okay.
We never do those. I think I say that every time we do one too. I'll stop. Sorry.
It doesn't happen much.
15.
Nice.
Oh, 18.
21.
Nice.
I'm proficient in that somehow.
Yeah.
I don't
good
remember
result.
how.
I mean, it makes sense, I would say.
Yeah.
Yes, the Fairfather, god of destiny, light, law, and luck. Funnily enough, the symbol of the Fairfather is something that you, Sylas and Cholula, just saw recently. It is the symbol of a full moon eclipsed by a crescent moon, which was all over the place in Galadorn. Actually, like on the symbol of the guards, city guards there. And yeah, that's basically what you know.
All right.
How far out in line is this particular merchant?
He's at the end.
Oh, we went to the very back.
Yeah, I assume you guys like got in line and
Yeah.
started talking to the
Oh,
person
I
I wasn't
thought-
trying
front
to
of you.
cut.
No, I thought we just walked up to the close person and then talk, because I was gonna just like, oh, it's really
Cool.
good, and just start to sidle.
Where are you from?
Oh, thanks for holding our spot.
No, and even as you've been conversing, the line has been moving forward slowly, and a couple people have come up and got in line behind you as well.
Okay.
Well, we could wait it out.
Yeah, might as well.
So this emanates from a person? This wall?
No, it's like it comes up from the ground or something. I don't even know how they do it.
Seems pretty shoddy.
What comes out from the ground?
Sharty.
It's an inside joke.
We joke a lot about shots.
Yeah, it's funny how that word sounds like. Between things.
What?
They're drunk.
We're drunk.
I
Oh,
sober.
You got any on you?
Oh,
Actually, I have some mead.
I'd love a cup. I've got
you know, we
a
used
little
to have
kitty
a
guy
pot
right
where
here.
You could just tell something to be in it, and it would be that.
Did you? Who had that?
Yeah, some fucking idiot. Stole my fucking cards.
I'm gonna take out that case that we found on those students' bodies.
yeah. Yeah, it's a
and
lovely
I'm gonna
raspberry or blackberry mead, if I recall
Pass
correctly.
one out to everybody. I know that we only just met you, but this is like somewhat significant, I suppose. So, let's make a toast
I can feel my feet again.
to Aurora and to Rabbit, who we traveled with for up until today.
It's a weird name for a person to have.
It is.
To friends far and near.
Yes.
Jeez.
Shit. I have a drink I could
Yeah.
hold.
I also have a drink.
We all do. We're drinking mead.
Then a voice behind us, and I am also here. And Pippin
And he slits the merchant's throat.
He was a double agent.
You wait in line for about another hour, but you are getting very close to the front. And actually, no, yeah. Now that you bought purchased clothes from the merchant, you guys don't need to make another Constitution saving throw, as you are bundled and not at risk of freezing to death
Yay!
as much. It's still fucking cold.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
seems a bit wrong, right? You can just have walled cities, and then people out here can't even build fires outside when they should be building them inside, where they can control the
True.
environment too.
But
You're not even educating people on how to make fires.
Next, step forward.
Hi.
Please place any weapons and belongings on the table over here. They will be inspected and returned to you upon your return into the city. Any holy symbols you would like to inform us about before we begin going through your belongings?
is that technically a holy symbol that you found?
What?
The thing with the hand.
I think it was more of an insignia. Hi, we're the Mistwalkers, us three here, and that's a merchant.
We carry a lot of weird things.
The merchant already has gone
Oh.
and passed through.
That's good.
He said his goodbyes and thank yous for the mead.
Neat. So you'll keep the weapons the entire time we are in the walls of the city?
No, we'll check your
Oh,
belongings,
neat.
make sure you
Awesome.
don't have
I
any
don't.
cult paraphernalia.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
if you are.
I do. I have a disguise.
His hand goes to his sword.
No,
we have disguises.
We're
Oh,
because
will
we
have
had-
to be confiscated.
Of
Oh,
course.
no,
Yeah,
that's fine.
Fuck that.
Can we
Right,
get them
yeah.
back when we leave?
we're
we-
currently investigating the Silver Stake and
Yeah.
trying to help
We killed a
remove
whole
them from
shit ton
power.
of them before.
Wait here, I'm going to have to talk to my captain.
Yeah,
Sure,
fine,
sure.
Can I have a look at those robes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Pull him,
yes.
kind of lay him out. He calls over
I have
another.
this too. We should have given this to that one guy. He would have paid us.
What is that?
The mask.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Memories.
Right. Wait here.
He goes off
Oh, also this. I'm gonna show him the ear.
5 steps away.
All right.
That's mine. I put it in my pocket.
He steps away for a
I'm
moment. Over.
Fascinated
It
to
was-
learn how that's related.
It was from a rabbit.
He steps over to another man who's got this kind of like fur-lined half-plate armor with a big hood and like furs over the shoulders. deep brown skin and kind of light blue eyes. Slight point to the ears alerts you that he's probably half elven. Comes over. I'm told you have some steak paraphernalia.
We do.
Yeah.
These are sort of collected proofs of victories against stake members.
See. Well, the bloodstains do tell the story, don't they? Mm-hmm. I don't think we have to worry about these ones, soldier. Cleared for entry. I
Thank
may gather your belongings. Enjoy your time in Chilra.
Right. I'm just gonna twirl my umbrella back.
Does that seem like weird? That he's just like, they're probably cool.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
I hate it when people are amicable. Don't trust like that.
That's not gonna be good. 4.
4. Something's fishy about how easy that was.
So like, it seemed like literally anybody could. What
They
do I
didn't
know?
even check the merchant. Oh, they're checking him now. I'm not sure. Getting a lot of shit on him.
Getting closer. That's like the main. That was like a good 20-minute chunk was just the dude in front of you having all of his shit inspected. Stepping forward though, getting a little bit closer, and there's quite a distance between where the checks are happening and the actual like entrance to the city. Stepping forward, you can see the gates aren't actually fully closed. They're just so large that you couldn't even perceive the slight crack from the distance. But as you approach now, you feel this burst of warm air that's just kind of like trickling out. And as you step through the threshold and into the city of Chillrun, you find yourselves in a lush city of greenery, beautiful, what we would know as Bavarian-style homes with the stucco and exposed wood line the streets. Most of them are 2 to 3 stories, and the upper stories are actually like wider than the bases, leaving these kind of covered walkways that are extra protection from maybe any sort of rain or winds that might come through. But yeah, stepping through, there's this odd juxtaposition of having just been freezing your asses off, and it's like stepping into another season altogether.
Wow.
You do see as you enter and get to more open areas that are less kind of crowded by the shadows of buildings. There are open parks, and you can see the trees have begun to change colors, and there's brilliant yellows and oranges that just kind of decorate this lovely city space.
Still doesn't seem right that there's people outside these walls. Is there like enough? Is this like an overcrowded city?
No. It's busy, but you don't feel cramped.
I know we've only just arrived back in Winfell, but I'm feeling very hopperish right now, if that makes any sense. I feel...
It does. But, I mean, why would they... I mean, all we had to do was show what we had on us. Why wouldn't they be allowed in?
Yeah, they don't have anything. They can't... They have a blanket. It's like, can we check that for...
Maybe if you don't
religious
have
belief?
money to stay somewhere, they kick you out.
That seems right, you know?
No.
We'd rather you die in the cold. Sorry.
Right?
Sorry you don't have metal in your pockets.
Do I see any place that looks like an inn, somewhere that we could stay?
Make an investigation check.
I know we just got coats and now it feels great in here. I hate how good it feels in here. It feels bad how good it feels in this place.
Well, I mean, by the time we leave, you're gonna be glad that you had that, though, because it's gonna...
Oh, for sure.
It'll be cold outside still.
An 18.
18, nice. Yeah, you do see what looks to be an inn and tavern. Actually, kind of open windows on the first floor. I don't know the best way to describe this. So, it's wooden framing with a stone base, but the wooden frames are just kind of like this big open space where you can see there's like rows and rows of tables, people drinking hefty mugs of ale and beers and all different types of drinks. There's a scent that wafts out of fried meats and sausages, a heavy scent of kind of like sage on the air. And some kind of like orange and yellowish vines dangle from the upper portion that you presume to be, there are stairs on either side of this kind of like bar and ordering area that lead up to what you presume to be the rooms that are kind of up above. And you find yourself standing outside of the Portly Prince.
Ooh,
Seems
this
good.
looks nice.
Just
Should we get some food before we go to find a room?
yeah, we can do that.
Okay, it smells good.
Stepping inside, there is a plump human man, blonde of hair, with kind of deep-set green eyes, who is standing behind the counter. There's a number of them working back there, but that's the one you managed to kind of get up to as he steps over. Yeah, welcome. What can we do for you?
Hi, we're in search of food and shelter.
Ah, well, you've come to the right place. We have both of those things.
Right, it smells wonderful.
What can I get you to eat? We have a lovely schnitzel on the board today. We also have several sausages and potatoes that have been mashed with the butters and the garlics.
I want those.
Yeah, let's kind of just do a round of all of it. We're kind of
Yes.
foodies, if you will.
Wonderful. Yes. A platter for the table.
Yeah.
Lovely. If you would like to have a seat, I've got a wonderful memory. We will have that brought right out to you. It's going to be 5 gold pieces for a platter and an ale for each of you.
Well, you do a pitcher, right? Is that warmed or is that a chilled pitcher?
Oh, it is chilled.
Okay.
Where do you think we are? It is because it is chill run.
Right. Hey, just a quick question while you're here. Do you happen to know what the criteria is for entering the city? Such as, say, I don't know, what if we were very poor? Would we be allowed in?
Well, maybe it depends on a lot of factors. You know, do you have family within the city walls? Are you, do you have any? Have you previous family who have lived here? But mostly it's, yeah, most are welcome in Chilran.
I'm gonna give him 6 gold since he just asked for payment, and then she was like, so what if you don't have any money? I'm gonna pay him for our food and drink.
Thank you very kindly.
Could I get a Sylas read on that answer?
Yeah, make an insight check.
I don't like that trickle away. 17.
17. You see a bit of sweat to the brow. Definite nervousness at answering such a direct question of that nature. And you get the sense that he kind of probably stopped himself before he said too much. He kind of like glances around after the question. So yeah, if you get that brought out to your table,
Right.
Oh!
Because we're in children.
Yes!
Sausage.
Yes.
It's a sausage.
It's a sausage joke.
Fucking no.
You head out to a table, have a seat around, and it's very kind of like communal seating. It's just like series of very long tables. And there are brief, interruptions between different groups that are there together, but a lot of people are intermingling and cheersing each other and just all together making merry and having a good time.
Real Mary or...
Make an insight check.
I was
No,
gonna
now-
ask
now
if
you
there
got
are
me
any
all
groups
weird.
that look like they're having secret rebellious conversations at their table.
Ooh, you can also make an insight check.
23.
Is anybody having fun?
Everyone's having fun.
We are
23.
23, nice.
13.
You were looking specifically to see if this was like legitimate.
Yeah, if
making
there was
merry.
like fun, but also eye darts, like if it was like ha ha ha, and then just kind
Something
of like,
about you guys repeating making merry makes it sound like it means sex.
People are just making merry.
What's the craziest place you've ever made merry?
All over this patio.
Sorry, I'm trying to get a. It's been a while since we've been in a
I am not a merry man.
tavern. Silas, looking around, most people here are legitimately having a wonderful time. They're definitely kind of getting into their cups, and you immediately can tell, why everyone is so cheery here as soon as the drinks are brought out to you, and these are hefty, probably like a couple pints in one. And yeah, just like these huge steins that people are cheersing and downing. And your food comes out shortly thereafter. It is exquisite. It's just like different varieties of sausage piled, rather like not neatly, but precisely stacked in a decorative way atop this kind of like very fluffy mound of mashed potatoes. And yeah, a bit of schnitzel on the side, a little bit of some sort of, how do I describe this? It's greenery, but it's very wet.
All right.
Akin to like a slaw.
Okay.
There as well. It's brought out.
I was really hoping you'd get all the way through it, like sliced bread.
I take.
There is that as well. Actually, it's not
Two
sliced bread,
potatoes.
but there's like these little rolls that have this beautiful like skin to the outside of them. These little pretzel rolls.
Skin quilt, skin quilt, skin quilt, skin quilt, skin quilt.
Yes, the audience wasn't here for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
no, at the same
now they
time.
want to.
Good job, you guys.
Cholula,
We're very good at chanting.
what did you roll for insight?
13.
13. You see a few people around that you get the there aren't any people that you get the vibe they're like in secret talks with one another, but you do see a couple of people sitting by themselves that are less celebratory, more like maybe they're here to forget rather than celebrate. If
Okay.
that makes sense. But yeah, no active rebellions being plotted nearby that you can tell.
All right.
I didn't like the way the barkeep was telling us about the people coming into the walls. He kind of, you know, when people, it's not even a training thing. You just kind of, you're around liars long enough. They just kind of over clarify. Oh, everyone's allowed in because everything's great, and everyone's allowed in
He
because
said
why wouldn't it
mostly.
be?
Mostly
Then
everyone.
he was sweating.
I
And he
mean-
darted around. He seemed nervous. Is what I'm.
Nobody wants to say, no, we don't let poor people in.
But why would he look around?
And also, why would
Is there anybody here who
stay-
looks high ranking?
Make an insight check. Sorry, I'm trying to stop making that sound with my mouth.
I remember for months you got mad at me because I was doing.
That's different. Mine is just the sound of my mouth opening.
It's one of my least favorite subtitles. Clicks tongue. It's like 'cause
Mine
then
is
it makes
wet
me think about
squelching.
it. I mean, we can go down this list.
17.
17. I said perception, right?
Did you? I thought you said insight.
I probably did.
Did you mean perception?
I did.
13.
13. Okay, not bad.
So, worse.
Looking around,
There's Alma.
there doesn't appear to be anyone of like military rank in the tavern currently drinking. At least if they are not wearing their decorum. But you do see as the crowd outside, and it's easy to see outside as you're in this kind of like very open space. The crowd in the streets parts a bit as a little procession comes through of a few. The best way to describe them would be knights atop horses are kind of riding through. One has a glaive at his side, just riding casually, and another to his side appears to have a sword on his belt, riding through and waving at people. I'd say on a 13, you can also make out that each of them have that same kind of dual moon symbol on a chain around their neck.
Interesting.
Yeah, they just kind of pass by, waving. A couple of people like are waving at them, or some like bow their heads in reverence, and they pass by.
I'm just stacking potatoes.
Yeah, the food here is amazing.
So you've been alive for 10 day. How's that?
A little less, 8 days. 4 of those, it felt like all of my bones and skin were broken, and maybe some organs. And then I got better. Death will do that. And now I feel fine. Things seem fine. Everything seems to be in the right place.
Did you see Ollie?
For a little bit at first. And then, she has other things to attend to, I believe. And I was kind of wandering through hallways of ghosts. So I was doing my own thing.
Right.
Sort of. But she was there at first.
Okay. And you didn't see Aurora?
Mm-mm.
Okay. We tried to send a bird to Aurora, and it, like they do.
Did you suddenly see?
I could try to reach out.
Could try to, or could have tried to?
I could try to reach out now. I don't know if it'll work. You can send a message across any distance and even to other planes of existence. But if the target is on a different plane than you, there's a 5% chance that the message doesn't arrive.
Mm-hmm.
So I could try.
I mean, yeah. That would be useful.
Just to know if she's, alive or...
From my little component pouch, I'll pull out like a little string of copper wire and like twist it until it's kind of like, the little springs and pens,
Yeah.
like that tight. I'll just kind of like flick it till it like boing. And I will, in my head, I will say, Aurora, it's Alma. I don't know if this will reach you. Are you safe?
Okay, roll a d100.
Don't roll a 5. Don't roll a 5.
58.
58. I'm sorry, could you repeat that message for me?
I don't know if this will reach you.
Yeah, it's Alma. I don't know if this will reach you.
Let me know if you're safe.
Are you safe?
A moment passes.
I'm so sorry.
I think Miranda's gone to bed, so I'm gonna have to improvise this.
Oh.
Miranda, get in the chat.
Miranda, tell the chat what you say.
I texted her and she didn't respond.
Okay.
You hear, Alma? What? That's crazy. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, things are weird, but I'm alive.
Don't forget that.
I'm with my brother. Well, he's kind of my brother.
I was gonna say, don't forget the touch and the look away.
She's alive. I think she got distracted there.
Well, yeah, she's still Alma.
She's
I'm Alma.
Can we get one more fucking A name over here, please?
She said she's...
One more, or a little bit trickles through. I'm safe.
She's safe. She says things are weird, and she's with her brother, but he's not her brother, and that's kind of where it...
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, that's good. It's a good start. I said start? This is really good food.
Louder than I thought it was gonna be. In all honesty.
You should have more beer.
Okay. Should we get a room for all three of us, or is that weird?
Have you ever felt a table vibrate before? And your phone wasn't on it?
When I sit next to Kitty.
Oh. It was like,
Draconic.
yeah, almost.
When you guys met, did you know she burped like this? Or
Yeah,
did you
we
find
worked
out?
together for
I,
like
yeah,
2
we went
years.
to a bar where I had burping competitions with people there.
Okay, I'm just checking. I tricked Cameron. That's how this happened.
I wasn't fooled.
I could smell it. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
So we know that she's safe,
That's good.
which
When
is
you were in Purgatory, was there a sudden influx of Silver Stake type people? You know, maybe like an ignition amount of people.
different gods. Also,
You know, some of them would. I mean, some of those people during the ignition were not Silver Stake. I think they were just humans with their families. It was weird.
They were Silver Stake.
Not every one of them. I got the distinct impression that there were just some people living outside of the tree.
No, I mean, I think they didn't know how bad their whole cult is.
Sounds like
You know,
Purgatory to me.
culty.
either way, it would be to a different god's domain, so
Right.
they wouldn't have come to where I was.
Right.
I'm just checking.
So,
It's a good question, but no.
we get a room and we sleep. What is the plan? Are we
We go to Waterdeep
go to Waterdeep?
as much as I want to get more people in these walls with every part of my being.
Yeah. I mean, I guess on our way out, we could say, hey, maybe if you go a little bit farther south, you won't
How
have to
much
be in the cold.
How much
go
money
inside and make-
do we have access to?
What?
How much money do we have access to?
I've got 1,600, 1,700.
I've got about 30,200 gold, plus about 56 silver.
I lost most of mine in the divorce. so-
Wait,
Right.
that silver is that platinum? I have 56 platinum as well.
Wow.
I'm not sure how math.
560 gold pieces. So, I mean, if you were worried about the people outside, we could charter a large enough ship in Dampier to bring them back to Waterdeep. But then, of course, we have a bunch of displaced people in Waterdeep who likely don't have a lot of money.
We'd
Also-
also have to, travel them through the forest
Right.
to a ship.
You
And
could also just pass out
we
gold.
travel through the mountains.
Should we travel through the mountains? Should we travel through the mountains?
I've never been, so I'm not really a mountain person. I was kind of a coastal city kind of fellow.
Where?
Soft hands.
So would you rather not? Or do you want
I
to
don't know
see?
how bad they are. I'm saying we can go to a map maker or someone who might have traveled the mountains and
Oh,
get a
we
list
should-
of get a
If-
list of bad things in the mountains that we could be prepared for.
If we're trying to determine how bad things are with the stake, it could suit us better to travel through the plains where there are more villages
Good. Or the ports
and the ports.
and ask about things.
The smaller villages are more at risk, so we'd be able to determine better how far this is really spread.
Or walk right into a repurposed village.
Exactly. And maybe unpurpose it.
What?
Alone? 3 of us?
I think small villages, we might be able to help out more than we could Altanan.
Villages? Are we talking about the same scale? I think 3 people trying to...
Well, you have to consider that not everybody they're not going to post their best officers at a village. They're going to have a couple of people there who can really do any damage.
I guess so.
At the
Keep
very
everybody in
least, we
line.
can take news back to Waterdeep of which villages have been overtaken.
Right, I'm thinking we can liberate a hamlet, but a village is quite another story. Am I like, is this semantic on my level? I just think...
I don't know. I think you might be onto something, but I don't know I don't remember
I don't remember
what the
scale.
difference
I know a hamlet's on the lower
I
end.
think a village is like 50 people.
A hamlet can be the size of a village, but a hamlet, I think, specifically doesn't have any religious buildings.
A hamlet is specifically the Prince of Denmark.
He gone.
I think it's only. I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure it's only a hamlet if it doesn't have a church.
I thought it was scale. I like literally
Oh,
in the
so if the stake is there, they're all hamlets?
I thought the DMG literally had like a scale of like scaling your city.
Yeah.
It probably does.
If it's small enough, if there's not enough high-ranking members, we could liberate it. The problem is, as soon as we leave, they're just gonna retake it over.
Right, yeah. See, I don't see any point in attempting to liberate.
No, but we
it'd
could
be good to-
determine where they are.
Exactly, because if we do that, then we left them a bit more of a. I wanted to say vacuum, but I don't think that's something that would be of this
Or,
place. That we would create a chasm of
Right.
of a power.
Or-
Void.
we go ahead and liberate it and kidnap
kill
whoever
every
the highest.
stake member that we come across. I like that.
No, that's also a good option, but we could also kidnap the highest ranking members at those locations and try to get some information prior to the punishment.
All right, yeah. We eat, we drink, we sleep, and then we kill
Get
a
a map.
hamlet. Yeah.
We get a map in the morning and then we go on our way.
You should sleep.
Okay. Can we get a room, please? What was
That-
his name?
I don't think we got it, and that's not our way to. I'll go up to the bar.
Also, just in case anyone was curious, I was correct. So, only kind of. So
I'm so sorry, microphone. That was
so the dungeon guy, the
It
dungeon
only
master's
took one
guide,
arrow to kill a very high horse earlier.
the dungeon master's guide just has village, town, city. Those are the three
Okay.
categories. A village has about 1,000 people in it.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of people.
A hamlet is a village that lacks a compact core settlement, lacks a compact core settlement and lacks a central building such as a church or an inn.
Oh, so
Not-
basically it doesn't have like a government.
It's just like some people's houses.
Right.
So-
I was partially right. It's like it's not
Suburbia.
specifically a church, but it doesn't have like a main building at the center.
So if the
It's like-
stake is there,
it's like
none
people-
of
Have
them
like
are hamlets.
amenities.
yeah, it's like if a bunch of farmers live there, that's a hamlet.
Yeah.
Unless the stake gets there and then they've turned it into a village
If they build
If
by
they build
imposing
something.
a central government.
Sure.
Wait, are they diametrically?
This is really fascinating, you guys.
no. Are they
This is what the
opposed?
viewers came for. Put it up in the chat.
Put a hamlet in the chat.
Are they
Hamlet,
opposed?
Hamlet, skin quilt,
Skin quilt,
skin quilt, skin quilt.
Are they opposed to having a centralized building? Like if you try to build one, that entire hamlet comes after you?
Yeah, that's when
Yeah, it's like putting a Sonic in a small town in Texas.
that's when the Hamlet Wars began. And that shit gets wild.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy's trying to build a building. This guy's trying to build a community center.
So one of you said, if I recall correctly, while I was doing my research, you were approaching the bar.
Yes, we were going to ask about rooms, and so we could eat and sleep, and then on the morrow we will purchase a map and kill a hamlet.
Yeah, we have open rooms. It is 1 gold piece per room.
Could we have? I mean, are they big? Are they small? What are we dealing with?
Well, we have 2 beds, and we have single beds if you are looking for something bigger. The 2 beds are accommodating.
I'm up at the bar, away from the table.
Yes.
Are there any senior discounts of any sort?
Do you know how old you are?
How old is Silas? I'm trying to decide if you need to make a persuasion check or deception check.
I'm like 25, so he has to be old enough to reasonably have a 25.
Yeah, and you said when you saw me that I didn't
Yeah,
age
he could
a
be in
day.
his 40s, though. That's not
Yeah.
a senior discount.
Uncomfortably in his 40s.
Make either a persuasion or a deception check,
What
depending on
counts
how
as a-
old Silas
How
is.
bad does Silas look
If he's
is the question.
if he's like, I'm gonna say if he's 56 plus, then it's persuasion.
Persuasion?
do you
Deception,
know?
baby!
Because you like lost like 15
Oh, that's
years
kind.
or some shit, right?
yeah.
No, but when you said you saw me, like, in
But
the early part of
yeah,
the game,
you hadn't
He
aged.
hadn't aged though.
Yeah. So
So visually, it fell off twice.
physically
You just
you
kept
haven't
going, though.
aged. But how old is he really?
Good question.
Emotionally.
26.
26.
Whoa.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we can get it to you for 6 silver.
Nice. Awesome.
Just a one room, 2 beds.
2 rooms, if we could. There's 3 of us.
Oh yeah, that will come out to 1 gold and 2 silver, with the discount.
Good.
Right? Did I do that math right?
Sure.
Yes. 6 and 6 is 12.
Right.
I
Which
will,
is 1 and 2. Yeah.
I will hand that over.
Thank you, and here's the keys to your rooms.
And this one's the both twos,
Yes,
I guess.
12A and 12B. Yeah.
Cool.
As they're connected by a door. Is that okay? You can lock it if you
Oh,
want.
oh, yeah, I figured.
In case one of us wants to commit crimes.
Perfect. Well, enjoy your stay at the Portly Prince.
Thank you very much.
And we do room service if you want some more food.
Do.
Why do people keep saying that?
He said doo-doo. Also, I have 2 rooms here.
I'll
If-
take one.
If you 2 wanted to share one, and I...
You share with your family.
Gross. I will
weird.
take a room.
There are 2 beds.
He
Oh,
snores.
man.
He snores. Please no.
Do you snore? Does she
No.
snore?
No, I have great.
I don't think we shared a
Nostrils.
room. It's weird. It's weird.
We always share a room with like 3 other people.
Well, yeah, but if it's just us 2, then we have to talk or something.
I can speak well to the integrity of my nostrils. I don't snore.
How would you know?
Nobody's mentioned it.
I just think it's weird that you don't want to spend time with your daughter who's been dead.
Well, maybe I didn't know that she was fucking alive until, what, 8 hours ago? Maybe less?
Yeah,
4?
and now you're like, go stay with Cholula. She doesn't deserve a room
Do
of
you
her
not-
own after this long
Do you not like me
traveling with.
anymore?
What's up?
You don't like me anymore?
Of course
that the
I do.
problem? So you
I
don't
just
wanna
think
stay
you want to catch up with your father and let me have a room to myself for once.
Okay, fine. Fine.
Vicariously don't snore. I snore when I sleep on my back.
But you do that. You do that all the time.
No, I don't. I light
But
a
you do
candle
that
now,
all the
and I
time.
lay on my side.
When you sleep on your back tonight and you snore, I'm going to bring this conversation
Then
back
just
up.
roll me over.
No, that's your problem.
Ask your shadow.
It's not because
You-
I'm asleep. It
you
doesn't
roll-
bother me at all.
You roll you over. Be considerate.
Or wake me up and say, you roll you over, and I'll roll over.
I wish I still had the telekinesis. I wish I still had it.
And I'll speak through the ring. Yeah, me too.
I'll just message back.
Is it just your voice now?
Yeah. I'm just gonna kick you over.
This is great, Cholula. Good times. Yep, you
Family reunion.
should. Fantastic.
You burp the word family reunion.
So, as you all head up to your respective rooms for the morning,
Yeah, I take the pillows and blankets from the other bed and put them onto the one bed.
hell yeah.
I thought you, for some reason, I was like from our room.
I
where we
went to
both
their
live in
room
a
and
bed.
I
was
take
like,
their
hello?
pillows and blankets and I make myself a nest in a room and I lock the door that connects the 2 rooms.
I spend the night like clawing at please. Help!
Is there anything that any of you get up to before finding your rest? Nice.
That sounded like a fucking MIDI keyboard. That was like the fakest burp sound.
I think
So people don't know I've got my switchboard back here.
Yeah.
I'm like super excited to have my own room to myself for the first time in a very long time, but I'm gonna, before I go to bed, set an alarm around both of our rooms for anyone that's not one of us coming in or out.
Absolutely.
Since it's weird to just be in a place where no one's taking a watch.
Okay.
I don't
Somebody do that. Boop.
You do so.
I don't know where he's been all day, but and I'd like light a candle and like move one of the end tables to the middle of the room. Thought you 2 would like to see each other again.
Hello, Shadow.
Yeah, I'll just
It kind of like flits around to the opposite side of Silas from where you are.
no, don't do that. It's Alma. It's our daughter? No, it's
I don't think he's genetically related to.
yeah. But I'll probably nod off here pretty soon, and you 2 can catch up or something.
Has it been okay? Has everything worked out?
I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad you are too. It was a bit weird for a bit, admittedly. After you had left, after you were taken, I didn't know what I was still doing there for the longest time, other than vengeance. And then I got that, but not on her. Just kind of on some beast of some sort, and it didn't feel as satisfying as I'd thought. I don't know. I think a part of me thought if I could get rid of it, then it would feel better that you were gone. And but you're back now, so that's something. I had a magical deck of cards that changed my outlook on life a bit.
Magical deck of cards.
Yeah.
Does that mean anything to me?
I mean, not the ones with the animals and things, the other one.
Make an Arcana check. Make an Arcana check.
16.
16. It doesn't ring any bells, but it sounds intriguing. A deck of cards that changed his life.
But you don't... Do you still have it?
No. I think either some some busker or a previous companion, rabbit, had stolen them. I think it's not important. I kind of feel better without them, but it was just odd. It kind of changed my outlook on things. I was very upset with your mother and very upset that you were gone, and couldn't really bail from the mission either.
Well, the mission is the safety of the entire world, so that does make sense.
Right. But I felt like I had lost agency until I had those cards, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because at least the cards could do something on their own.
Well, now you can do something, and that is hopefully save the world. Maybe.
I thought we had played that game already.
Unfortunately, there are always forces trying to destroy the world. That seems to be a never-ending cycle, as far as I can tell. But, at least for our lifetimes, I think we have the start of a solution. The start of one, and then it gets complicated after the start part.
You know, I told Cholula about this, but the more you stick your neck out, the more likely you are to get it cut off.
I mean, if you wanted, we can stop here and hope that somebody else takes care of things.
Can we, though?
Nobody in the world knows that we know what we know. We could all just decide that it's not our problem specifically. We could just hand it off to the Blackstaff and hope that she and her team handle things.
Yeah.
And we can just kind of spend the rest of our lives letting things happen to us instead of making things happen.
If we... Yeah. You're right. It's just something I've been thinking on.
Right. A lot of things were taken from you, and that's not fair.
You don't have to pander to me. I was there.
Sometimes people just think through things. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're infantilizing you or pandering to you.
It's good catching up. Sorry. It's been weighing heavy, and I was not expecting to see you in the least.
Right. I'm sorry about how that
No.
worked out. I didn't want to return empty-handed. It felt like it would have been a waste.
No. It's incredible. I get to tell people that my daughter died for a bit. Oh, and here she is. Like
Right, like a magic trick.
Yeah, but also I get to know I didn't completely fail at putting our family back together.
Just sleep on it and decide whether or not it's the better choice to hand this to somebody else. We can do that.
But you know we can't.
No, we'd do a better job. And we've already figured out most of it. It's just the details that are fuzzy.
I've heard
But
the
we've
devil's
never
in
gone
those.
into anything well prepared. So why would we start now?
No, right, yeah. It's good having you back, though.
It's good to be back.
What is my
Yeah.
shadow doing now?
It's behind you.
Could you just be a friend and say hello? I don't even have to be here. I can be asleep.
Slowly, the hand raises and then lowers back down.
He'll warm up, I guess. I don't know. Well,
I was serious. If you snore, I'm just gonna kick you over.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I've been sleeping on my side as of late.
I'm kind of shocked bears don't find you in the woods.
I don't know what to say to that. I'm asleep. I don't. It's not. Now I'm going to think about bears every time I go to sleep. I'll just think about bears now. Even bears can come inside. You know that, right?
They don't have hands.
As Silas rolls over in his portion of, or rather his bed on that side of the room.
His half of it.
Is the shadow the other half?
Alma, you lay down as well. Are you facing Silas or away from Silas?
I'm probably away. It feels weird to look at people when you sleep. I don't even look at you when I sleep.
Okay.
Weird.
Make a perception.
21.
21.
With the Alma dice.
Yeah. With the candle still burning on a little plate nearby, the two of you begin to find your sleep. Alma gives off the faintest glow, almost. Just a faint emission of light. And you get this strange feeling like you're being watched. And as you glance over your shoulder, just kind of checking the room, you see Silas kind of curled over to the side, asleep, just a faint bit of snoring beginning to happen. And from about maybe mid-torso up, his shadow is still there on the wall, just facing your direction.
Could I just reach my hand to the floor, like where the shadow of the bed is, and attempt to summon the shadow blade and see if it comes over to pass it to me?
As you reach down into the shadow of your bed, you cast Shadow Blade. What does it look like?
I pull it up out of that shadow, hopefully Silas's shadow, and it's approximately the same as it always was, just kind of like constantly moving shadows, but through the center of it now there's just kind of like a rod of light that appears every now and then as the shadows move.
You pull it forth from the shadow of the bed. And as you do, similarly to Alma's hair and eyes, that thin strip of light that kind of travels down the center of the sword, holding it in your hand. The blade, I should say. You look and glance over and you see as Silas's shadow sinks a bit, as if it's recoiling from the light.
Interesting.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. But before we go, we have a giveaway to announce. For those of you who are just joining us, shout out to Ars Booch for the follow. Thank you.
Welcome.
You're gonna fit right in around here.
You're gonna love it.
What was the other one earlier? Cynical?
Cynical?
I think it was cynical. Here, let me actually look through this. I've got a couple of shout outs I want to do before
People
we
like
get
that.
to it. Just so you guys know, we're doing a dice giveaway. We've got a beautiful set of handmade dice. I don't have them on me.
But you have them below you.
I have them, maybe. Robbie's not in here.
They're here.
Oh, he still runs that.
He's
shit.
still on top of our shit.
Yeah, there's this beautiful set of Fantasy Forge dice. So fresh, I haven't even sanded it yet. So the winner tonight can actually, if you would like to, you can weigh in on what color you would like your numbers to be inked on the dice. I will give my recommendation if you so choose. But yeah, you've got to be a follower to be eligible to win, a follower of us here on Twitch. So give us a follow if you haven't already. Type
Click
the word
the
home.
heart.
Yeah, type the word home in the chat to be entered into the giveaway. You should get a little message from Moobot letting you know that you have entered. I have navigated away from the proper page.
But you can navigate to More Fun Comics and Games or the Gilded Rogue if you want to. Those are our sponsors for the evening. The Gilded Rogue is clothing and lifestyle. If you're a D&D fan, they have shirts that are really cute, adorable. There's one that says "Time for Crime" and it has a dagger.
Yeah.
There's one that says "Wild Shape" and it has a possum. Who doesn't love a nighttime so ugly it's cute creature?
Yeah, speaking of Gilded Rogue, if you go to our YouTube channel, if you go to our About section, there are links to all of these places. You can also follow a link to our YouTube channel where we have every single episode of Arcanarama that we've ever done.
All of them. So
And-
if you're new, you've got content.
Yeah, and even a few more of some other little campaigns that we've done, or one-shots. But yeah, you can see that as it is October and it is the spooky season and we've decorated our set and ourselves. I haven't been wearing my Gilded Rogue shirts, but I think in the last probably 6 episodes I've been wearing one of my 3 Gilded Rogue shirts.
Yeah.
Or my Arcanarama tank.
Yeah.
But it's starting to get chilly now and I'm excited.
I have a big sweater.
More Fun Comics and Games provides us with these prizes. We do 2 a week. There's handmade dice from Cameron at Fablefire, and then there's these minis, which will probably change in a couple weeks, maybe. But there's two things. All you have to do is click a heart, and you can win shit. Don't be an idiot.
We make you type a word too, but it's okay.
New things in the wings. So yeah, huge shout out to Cynical for the follow and the cheer earlier on, respecting the beards. Big shout out to our very own SD Zook for gifting 5 subs, 5 mystery subs.
Shit.
Hell
For the
yeah.
babies.
During
You're
the
gonna have to
break.
catch me on the next paycheck for that.
And shout out to A Dark Phoenix Born resubscribed for 7 months.
Ooh,
That's a long time. And once again, to Ars Booch for the follow. Thank you so much.
Our spooch.
Now, without further ado, the winner
Draw the winner.
of the Fablefire Ignition Dice giveaway. We talked a little bit about the Ignition today, for those of you who may not have been there for it.
Oh.
It's on YouTube. The winner of the Fablefire Dice giveaway is, hey, this is a name I haven't seen in a while, 11-Day-Old Kobold!
Yeah, dude.
You did it.
Congratulations, 11-Day-Old Kobold. As always, our giveaways go out towards the end of the month, so as we get closer to the spooky night.
The spookening.
As we get closer to All Hallows Eve, Samhain, as it were, those will
All
go out.
Hallows Ween.
All Hallows Eve. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is interesting. We're back home. We're back home in Winfell,
Yeah.
and we even have the families back together.
I'm not dead.
Thanks, Genevieve, and Silas's money.
I could put.
You got some of it back.
I could bring you into this world. I could pay to bring you back into this world.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you next Saturday. Same great time, same great place. Click the follow to be alerted when we go live so you don't miss any next time, and you're here for both giveaways and all the goodness that follows. Until then,
Stay
Stay safe.
safe out there,
adventurers. Oh, that was so sad. Bye.